All right. Hey guys, what's going on? I cannot get my intro video to load. So, no intro video today, just me. Boom, we're live. Hi, how you doing? I'm Zach. Yeah, welcome guys to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get started with tonight's show still, though, I need to shout out our super chatters from last episode. Not only just super chatter, but also a beloved channel member as well. And that is going to be none other than, if I can find it, here we go, none other than the Ace Avenue. Ace, thank you so much for all of your support towards our channel, for being a member, for supporting us through the super chats in the show. It's been incredible. Guys, check out the Ace Avenue. He does movie reviews, he talks about TV shows, he talks about sports, he talks about it all. His link is down in the description below. And yeah, I highly encourage you guys to click on it, check him out. He's a great guy, very charismatic, got a great channel over there. Just hit 1,000 subscribers as well, so congrats to you, my friend. All right, guys, we actually have a very packed show here tonight because there was just too much that I wanted to talk about that I didn't want to cut out. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. So this is going to be a pretty oversized show. It should be a lot of fun. We got Nicolas Cage coming back to Spider-Man Noir in live action. We've got rumors of High School Musical 4. Yes, I grew up in the early aughts. I loved High School Musical. I got to talk about it. Donnie Yen is going to be getting a spin-off, his own spin-off in the John Wick universe as Caine. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes did very well in the box office. There's a new Lord of the Rings movie coming out with Gollum, and we've got a little bit more details on what they're planning on doing with that. And it is official. Happy Gilmore is in the works at Netflix. Adam Sandler's coming back to do the sequel. Yay! We'll find out. We'll talk about it all. And with all that said, guys, like I said, we got a super packed show. So before we get into the comments and questions, see who's here. I see a couple of you guys in here already. We got Dakota Man Movies. How you doing? 80s Gift from the 90s. Collect a Movie Man. Thank you guys so much for being here. Michael 101591. Jay Pylon. What's going on? Thank you guys. Nathan's Random Movies. Yeah, we got a bunch of people in here. Thank you guys so much for joining. But before we get into the chat, because we have so many topics, I'm just going to jump into our first topic of the night, guys. And that has got to be what you guys probably clicked on the video for, and that's going to be this. Nicolas Cage is a beloved actor. He's a crazy actor sometimes, but he's also an Oscar-winning actor, and we can't forget about that. And the Spider-Verse over at Sony is doing incredibly well. Very beloved, and I just realized that doesn't look very good. Let's get that out of the frame. Nope, that's more in the frame. Let's get that out of the frame. That is where my breaker blew up, and they ripped out my drywall. Anyways, should have checked that before. Anyways, as I was saying, the Spider-Verse is very beloved and is over at Sony, and they have plans to extend the Spider-Verse. And one of the ways that they want to extend the Spider-Verse that they've talked about in the past is moving it on to Amazon Prime, doing some shows over there. And now we have confirmation that one of the shows that they are definitely going to do is Spider-Man Noir, not in animation, in live action, and Nicolas Cage is coming back to do the role. So this comes to us from Variety. Whoops. Where did I go? There I am. This comes to us from Variety, and they have to say, Nicolas Cage will once again play Spider-Man Noir, but this time in a live-action series. Cage is set to star in the live-action show Noir, which has been ordered to series at MGM Plus and Amazon Prime Video. The series will debut domestically on MGM Plus's linear channel, followed by global launch on Prime Video. Variety exclusively reported the series was in development in February 2023, though Cage was not attached at the time. The announcement was made ahead of Amazon's upfront presentation to advertisers in New York on Tuesday. Expanding the Marvel Universe with Noir is a uniquely special opportunity, and we are honored to bring this series to our global Prime Video customers, said the Vernon Sanders, head of television for Amazon MGM Studios. The extremely talented Nicolas Cage is an ideal choice for our new superhero, and the accomplished producer team with Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, Amy Pascal, and the incredible team at Sony is dedicated to expanding this franchise in the most authentic way. All right, guys. So we are getting it. And look, we talked about this a little bit. A couple months ago when this was kind of rumored that they were going to do a live action Spider-Man Noir story. And we didn't know that Nicolas Cage was going to come back. It has now been confirmed that he is coming back. So what do I think about this news? I am very excited about this news. This is not just exciting as a Spider-Man fan, as a Spider-Verse fan, as a Nicolas Cage fan, but I like a lot of what I'm hearing there. I mean, Amazon Prime Video is a very quality streaming service. I like a lot of stuff that they put out on Amazon Prime, and Sony's really interesting as a studio because say what you will about Madame Web and Morbius and their Sony Spider-Man-less universe that they got going on there. One of the unique things about Sony as a studio that I personally kind of respect is they are not in the streaming game. They do not care, nor do they plan to have a streaming service all on their own. And so they've been licensing out their stuff to other streaming services, primarily Prime Video. So the fact that they landed here, we're supposed to get a Silk series as well from Spider-Man on Prime Video. So this doesn't surprise me that this is where this is going to end up. I think this is a brilliant move to expand their Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, into even more realms, into even more possibilities, live action possibilities. Now, I do have questions of how this will work in live action because as we all know, the medium of animation is a fun medium to play in, which is where Spider-Man Noir was introduced with Nicolas Cage. It's very different to take things from animation into live action. Is this going to play the same way? Because in the Spider-Verse movies, Spider-Man Noir, while he is a cool character, cool looking character, comes from a black and white noir world, seems really interesting. Nicolas Cage plays him great. He's also kind of comic relief. He's also mostly there for the jokes to be funny. So if they're going to take this character to a live action series, I would love for it to be really serious, like go full on like detective noir with this, with Nicolas Cage in the role. And another interesting thing about this is that you also still have Phil Lord and Christopher Miller attached to the project as producers. How much they'll be involved, that's yet to be seen. But all in all, I think this is a really brilliant, excellent, and intriguing idea. Nicolas Cage, Spider-Man Noir, expanding the Spider-Verse, the team behind it. I'm on board. I think this looks like it could be a lot of fun, and I'm really anticipating for this to come out. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Spider-Man Noir getting a live-action series with Nicolas Cage starring in the role? Are you excited? Do you think it's going to be awesome, or do you think it's going to fall flat on its face? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions, guys. I'd love to hear them. And before we get into the comments and questions, like I said, super packed show. There was just so much I wanted to talk about. Let's move on to this. Let's get this out of the way because I know not everyone here is a 2000 baby, so you just have to bear with me as I'm not even a 2000 baby. I'm a 98 baby, but I grew up in the early aughts. So growing up in the early aughts, of course, High School Musical was around. I mean, High School Musical started in 2006, I believe, so I was about 7 when I first watched it. I loved High School Musical. I still love High School Musical. Is it kind of cheesy? Is it kind of campy nowadays? Was it always cheesy and campy? Probably. Do I recognize it now? Absolutely. But I still get so nostalgic and I have so much fun with High School Musical. And of course, they did High School Musical 2, and then they went on to do High School Musical 3, which was actually theatrical, ended the whole series with them graduating from high school. Ended beautifully and ended very appropriately. But ever since High School Musical 3 ended, the question has been, when are they going to do High School Musical 4? Are they going to do High School Musical 4? Where's the high school reunion that everyone is waiting for? And year after year after year after year since High School Musical 3 concluded, I've heard this for so many years. When are we getting High School Musical 4? And then we got High School Musical the series, and they kind of did, even though I wasn't a fan of the series, I didn't really continue watching it, they did something really interesting with the series by having it disassociated from the movies, by having it just be about the school where the movies were shot, by having the actors come in and play in themselves. Kind of fun how they did that with the series, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the series. But even with all that, High School Musical 4 is still on everyone's lips. And today, we got some news that Disney Plus may be developing a High School Musical 4. Well, hold your horses. I've seen a lot of people getting excited about this news. Where does this news come from? Where's the origin of this news? Well, this news comes to us. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. This news comes to us from a site called the Diz Insider. And the Diz Insider, it's not that it's not that reliable. It's definitely hit or miss. They've gotten some things right, they've gotten some things wrong. Some things they said did happen, some didn't. It's one of those kind of sites. Anyways, where is this High School Musical 4 rumor coming from? It's coming from their mailbag blog that they did, where a viewer wrote in and asked, is another High School Musical movie in the works, and is another Cheetah Girls movie in the works as well? To which the Diz Insider responded, yes, Disney is working on a new High School Musical movie for Disney Plus. Word on the street is the goal would be to bring back Zac Efron's Troy. And that's it. That's all they give us. That's where this rumor is coming from. That's where all of this fire is being ignited from. And look, like I said, I love High School Musical. Would I get a little bit excited if I heard that they were going to do a High School Musical 4 with the cast returning? I think I would be. If we got official confirmation, I think I would be, especially if Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens, which I think they are the biggest gets. If you can get Zac Efron, if you can get Vanessa Hudgens on board, then I think this thing moves forward. I mean, Lucas Gabriel, you're going to be able to get him. Corbin Bleu, I'm sure won't be a problem. Even Ashley Tisdale, who has said that she'll never play Sharpay again, I think you could get her on board for this as well. It's those two. It's Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron. Those are who you need to get. And after the Iron Claw, I would think that Zac Efron would be a harder get, but then he also went on and did Ricky Stenicki on Amazon Prime. So I think High School Musical 4 would be a step up from Ricky Stenicki. Even The Greatest Beer Run, I think High School Musical 4 would be a bigger get up from. But I also don't think that Zac Efron in particular is that interested in going backwards. I mean, he worked so hard to get out of that Disney image and to get into these comedy movies with Seth Rogen and these more mature projects. I don't really know if Zac Efron wants to go back. Same with Vanessa Hudgens. I mean, Vanessa Hudgens, she is pregnant. She's about to have her child. I don't know if right now is the time she would go back to High School Musical 4. And you do kind of have to address the fact that these two dated for quite some time during the High School Musical phase and then broke up, and it kind of seemed like a messy breakup. I don't know how. I haven't seen them in the room together since 2008, so I don't know how well that ended off for them, and if they would be willing to come back and play husband, wife, whatever Troy and Gabrielle are going to be at this point, because you can't ruin Troy and Gabrielle. You can't have them break up. You can't do something stupid like that with a reunion movie. You got to have them together. Would Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens be game for that? Personally, I don't know. My instincts would probably lean more to no. But I think the biggest thing with the High School Musical 4 is, would it work? And I don't think it would. Personally, I don't think a High School Musical 4 makes a lot of sense. Even though nostalgically High School Musical 4 sounds great in my head, the High School Musical franchise is all about high school. It's about the basketball team. It's about being in musicals. It's about being your true self, basically, is the whole message of that franchise. What would you do now that these characters are like 40 years old? Like, would you just do an hour-long special with them doing a high school reunion in some gym talking about their life? Like, what story would work within the High School Musical setting for these characters now like 20 years older? On top of that, Disney Plus, if they were going to do High School Musical 4, Disney Plus, I don't know why they would do that. I mean, you put this thing theatrical. You put money behind this. You get these cast back. You get Zac Efron back. You're going to be paying money. You put this thing in theaters. I mean, High School Musical 3, when it was in theaters in 2008, it had a budget of like $20 million, and it went on to make like $200 million worldwide. So if you're going to do High School Musical 4, don't do it on Disney Plus. You put that thing theatrical. You put some money behind it if you're going to get these guys back, which I think is a long shot, honestly. So this is totally just a rumor. There is no confirmation from Disney or anyone involved in Disney. This is just some guy who has had reliable stuff in the past, but he's saying that this is in the works. Do I personally believe that High School Musical 4 is in the works? I do, but not for this. I think they have a backup. If they can get Troy, if they can get Zac Efron back, and I think they'd go for it. But I think he's a very hard get at this point, and if he doesn't sign on, I'm sure they'll spin off something with the TV show. They'll do something with High School Musical because it's still a popular brand in Disney, so they're not just going to let it fade away. But do I think that we're going to see this come to fruition? Do I think we're going to see these sets of characters come back in High School Musical 4? Very unlikely. Those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on that, guys. Anyways, did you guys grow up with High School Musical, or did you not care at all about this topic? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about that, guys. And now that we've gotten through a couple of topics, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Thank you guys for your patience. I'm sorry for my late start, but I appreciate everyone who's here. Thank you so much, and we are going to get going with this. We got Dakota Man Movies in here. Whoops, that's not right. This should be above, where is it? This is up there. There we go. Now we see how I fixed the chat bar. I'm very happy about that. Dakota Man Movies says, "Hey Zach, have you seen the X-Men '97 finale? If so, what are your thoughts?" Well, thank you first of all so much for being here, Dakota. And I'm very, very sorry to say that I have to disappoint you. I have not seen the finale. In fact, I'm quite behind on X-Men '97 now. I am on episode 8. I'm on episode 8. I fell behind, and I feel terrible about it. I really wanted to catch up before the finale, and I just didn't. So I have not seen it yet. I've heard great things on Twitter, but haven't seen it myself. But thank you so much for asking, man. Jay Pylon says, thumbs up. Hello, Zach Millwell. Hello, Jay. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. So happy to have you here. Film Review Central, my friend. Thank you so much for being here, dude. He says, hey, Zach. Hope you're doing well, my friend. What is your favorite Bond movie from each of the 6 actors? Oh, my goodness. That's tricky. I'm going to go Goldfinger for Sean Connery. The one guy only did on his Majesty on Her Majesty's Service or something like that, so I can't really. Timothy Dalton. I really like License to Kill. That's a very unpopular opinion. What's the Pierce Brosnan is oh man, what's his? Probably Goldeneye. Is that what it's called? I think it was called Goldeneye. Probably Goldeneye for that one. There's two more. Daniel Craig would be Skyfall, I think. Oh, Casino Royale maybe. Skyfall. I'll stick with Skyfall for that one. And the final one, oh man, I'm blanking on the guy's name, but he was the second. Oh man, what was his name? I can't remember what his name. Oh, it's gonna kill me now. Why can't I remember his name? He did a very long stretch, but I can't remember his name. Anyone in the chat? Anyone remember the second Bond's name, or the third Bond? I guess it would be. Anyone remember? Anyone remember? I'm just gonna wait and see if anyone catches up. Yeah, I don't remember what the guy's name is, but I think I remember liking A View to Kill quite a bit from him, but I can't remember what his name is, unfortunately. Whoopsie. And no one's putting it in the chat yet, so I guess we'll move on from there. But yeah, that's off the top of my head, that's the best I can do, man. I'm sorry. 80s Kid from the 90s. What's going on, dude? Thanks for joining us, my friend. He says, he's bigger, he's badder. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the awesome Zach Milne Talks Live. What's good, Zach? Well, thank you so much, dude, for Syndrome's very inspiring words. That was very nice of you to use them on me. And I'm doing well, man. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Roger Moore, Toxic Gamer 331 is the first to get it. Roger Moore, thank you so much. Yes, his name is Roger Moore. Roger Moore's is probably A View to Kill, if I remember off the top of my head correctly, but I could be wrong about that. Collector Movie Man, what's going on, dude? Says, hey, Zach, how you doing? Well, I'm doing pretty well, dude. Thank you so much for being here. Happy to have you here. Hope you're doing well. Collector Movie Man says, I just recently got Dune on 4K, American Sniper on 4K Steelbook, and then I also got Major Leagues on Steelbook 4K, and it has magnets you can put on the Steelbook. That's pretty awesome, dude. Those are some good pickups, Dune, American Sniper. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're having fun with that. Collector Movie Man says, and then I also got Supergirl World of Tomorrow, the comic that's going to be based off the James Gunn Supergirl. Nice, dude. Yeah, I've been meaning to read that, but I got time. I'll read it eventually. 80s Kid from the 90s says, I've been spending money on so many comics recently. You know what? I just have a, why do I still have High School Musical up there? That's really funny. I just have a app, which I know is like nothing compared to the physical book, obviously, but I have an app for like $10 a month that gives me access to like not hundreds of thousands, but like thousands of Marvel digital comics. So I've been reading a lot of those lately. So props to you for actually getting a physical copy, spending the money on that. They are just too expensive for me. I can't do it. Dakota Man Movies says, have you seen the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer in theaters yet? I did. I got it in front of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And I thought it was a new trailer at first because I had never seen the clean version, basically what it is. I've never seen the clean version trailer. There was a couple new shots, a couple new angles. It was kind of cool. It felt a little new. But yes, that line at the end, Paul Rudd finally aged. It was so funny. I loved it so much. I laughed out loud. I was the only one who laughed out loud in my theater, which was a little bit embarrassing. But you know what? If I'm the only one having fun, then sucks to be them. You know what I mean? I'm having fun. I'm having a good time, and you're not. Sucks to be you. But no, I really enjoyed it. 80s Gift from the 90s says, it's pizza time. Pizza time. Yeah, man. Spider-Man 2 is the GOAT. Michael11591. What's going on, Michael11591? What's going on, dude? Says, hey, Zach, what's up? Shocked that Nicolas Cage is doing a TV show that is Spider-Man. Yeah, it is pretty surprising. It's pretty awesome that Nicolas Cage is going to do this. I mean, Nicolas Cage, he is a big name actor, but does he do the biggest things is my question. I mean, you look at Nicolas Cage, he did Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, right? Not the biggest movie in the world. I really enjoyed it, but it didn't blow up the box office. Didn't do numbers. He was in Pig. Who went and saw Pig? Not very many people. It's not that Nicolas Cage is above doing this series. I don't think at all. I mean, I think what was another thing that he? Oh man, I had it in my mind, but I just lost it. But basically, Nicolas Cage. Sounds like if it's up his alley, he's just gonna do it. I don't think Nicolas Cage is that picky when it comes to projects. Is this gonna ruin my blockbuster career? No, this probably sounded like a blast to him. And this is probably huge for Nicolas. This will probably be one of the biggest things that Nicolas Cage does in the recent years. I think this will be his most viewed thing that he's done in recent years. I mean, he was in that Dream Scenario was the last one I was thinking of. He was in Dream Scenario, but the Dream Scenario blow up the box office. Not many people talked about Dream Scenario. Kind of came and left. I didn't even get around to seeing Dream Scenario, and no one really talked about it after it was out for like a weekend. So I think this will be a great move for Nicolas Cage. I think this will be a fun move for Nicolas Cage and for the fans, and I'm super excited to see what he does. Jay Pylon says, hooray, live, we're live. Yes, love being live. Look forward to it every Wednesday. So thankful to all you guys who are here with me. Nathan's Random Movie says, hi, Zach. Well, hello, Nathan. Thank you for joining us. He says, what have you seen for the first time recently? I'm going to disappoint you, bud. I saw The Power of One, Abigail. Yeah, Monkey Man, New Life, Arcadian, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Imaginary, and Arthur the King. Killing it, man. Killing it. I have seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That was my very first watch. I just finished going through the Obi-Wan series again with my wife, who was watching it for the first time. We're going through Star Wars chronologically, but we're skipping Solo just because I want to. So next we're going to watch Rogue One, but that's kind of what we've been doing. We've been diving deep into Star Wars, which has been great because she never really was into Star Wars, so this is me getting her into Star Wars. And you know, on a rewatch, Obi-Wan I think got lesser for me, unfortunately. I think the highs were still pretty high, but the lows got lower for me. I was disappointed with my first watch. I was very disappointed in the second watch, unfortunately. So yeah, I've been watching a crappy show and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's about it. Collector Movie Man says, did you hear about the new Dune TV show that's going to be coming to HBO Max? It's called Dune Prophecy, and it takes place 10,000 years before Paul Atreides. I did hear about it. I think I might have skipped the question because I thought, yeah, sorry, Dakota Man Movies. I totally skipped over your question. You asked for thoughts on the Dune Prophecy trailer. So Dune Prophecy trailer and Collector Movie Man's asking what my thoughts are on it too. So I don't know if I've been living under a rock. I don't even know when this was announced. I had no idea that there was a Dune TV show being made for HBO Max. So when this trailer came out, I didn't know what it was at first, and I was impressed. I was impressed by it. I mean, I'm not going to say that it gets me as anticipated for like Dune or Dune Part 2. I mean, after Dune Part 2, I'm definitely more intrigued to see this, but it looked cool. It looked very cinematic. It looked gorgeous. It has the budget behind it for sure. I don't know. I think getting deeper into the lore will be cool. I don't know if it's going to captivate me as much as Dune Part 2 did. And even the first Dune, like, I think the first Dune is okay. Like, I think it's good. I think it's benefited by having Dune Part 2 as a companion piece to complete it. But when I first watched Dune before Dune Part 2, I thought it was fine. Dune Part 2 is excellent, though. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not like hyped for it as much as I was after Dune Part 2. So we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, no idea it was coming out. Didn't really keep my eyes or ears open for it, and then it all of a sudden appeared on YouTube today. So that was kind of cool. Ace Gift from 90 says, High School Musical 4. Yep, they're talking about it. You know what's funny is in the High School Musical, the series, they did a mock of High School Musical 4. They did this episode where some of the, let's face it, the C-list actors of the movies, they came back and they like pretended to shoot a High School Musical 4 in the school with the series. I thought it was kind of cool. It was kind of clever to do it that way. But yeah, they're talking about doing an actual High School Musical 4. We'll see if it actually comes to fruition. 8790 says, what a wonderful day. Kingdom was fire. Yes, it was. It was awesome. I loved Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We'll talk about that a lot sooner for sure. Yep. Age of the 90s says they cooked in X-Men 97. Look, I've been really enjoying the show up until this point. I haven't fallen off of it. I haven't stopped enjoying it. I've just gotten busy and I've just been prioritizing my time elsewhere. You know what's funny about YouTube is I do a YouTube show about movies and TV and movie news. And in order to do my YouTube channel, the sacrifice I have to make is watching movies, TV, and following movie news sometimes, which I think is ironic because there's only so much time in the day when I go to work, when I come home, when I spend time with my wife, when I do this, when I do that, errands, responsibilities of adulthood, responsibilities of a husband. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. And if I want to fit YouTube into my schedule, sometimes if I have time by myself or time alone, it's like, all right, am I going to focus on making a YouTube video and thinking of a concept, or am I going to spend some time watching TV? I have to be very balanced with that in my life. And a lot of the times, YouTube takes priority over watching TV, especially TV shows. That's why movie reviews are so much better for me, is because, all right, go to the movie theater, block of time, go there, come home, write up the review, shoot the review, do something with the review, get it up the next day, get it up by Saturday. I've gotten into a routine and a schedule. I've been able to put that into a routinely schedule for me. Whereas TV shows, they're harder to fit in for me. They're harder for me to prioritize. So I really love X-Men 97. I'm having a great time with it. I just wasn't able to fit it into my schedule all the time. And so I'm behind. But I agree. They are cooking. I love it. And I can't wait to get caught up. I'll probably get I'll probably get all the way caught up this weekend. Nathan John Movie says, how likely do you think the Spider Noir show is going to be TVMA from its crime SQ concept? I feel like it might be. That's a good question, Nathan. I didn't really think about it. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's not going to be TVMA, and I'll say it's not going to be TVMA because I think Sony, it's still connected to the Into the Spider-Verse brand, and the Into the Spider-Verse brand is a family-friendly kids concept. I don't think that it's going to be a kids show. Like, don't get me wrong. I do think there'll be action. I do think it'll be a PG, maybe a PG-13 type of show, but to go TVMA is like TV's version of going R-rated. And I don't think they would do that with their property, especially one this popular that they'll want to get a lot of eyes on. I think they want kids to watch it, teenagers to watch it, families to watch it, adults to watch it, like, movie fans and geeks to watch it. So I don't think they're going to go for the TVMA. It's a good question, though. And I will say I'll be surprised. If they decide that they're going to make this TVMA, I would be surprised. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm not expecting it to be. 80s Gift of the 90s says, Sony live action? Yikes. I mean, it's Sony live action, but I give it a little bit of leeway because we haven't really seen them do their Spider-Man stuff live action as a series. We've seen their movies, and we've seen their Spider-Man less movies, but, we also have to remember, Sony did give us, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2. They are associated with the Tom Holland trilogy, Spider-Man No Way Home, all that kind of stuff. So it's not that their live action stuff always sucks. It's just that their stuff kind of sucks right now. So we'll see how it goes with putting it on a series on Amazon Prime. But it has my attention. I'm very excited and very curious. I will tell you that much. All right. Collective Movie Man says, I have to wait and see a trailer for the new Spider-Man TV show with Nicolas Cage before I decide. I mean, fair enough, man. Fair enough. It's going to, like I said, moving from the medium of animation into live action is going to be really interesting to see how that translates, because the way that you can present this character and have Nicolas Cage perform in animation is so different when you put him in live action, when you put him in the suit. I mean, are we going to see him behind the costume? Are we going to see Nicolas Cage in his human form living his life or are we just going to get Spider-Man Noir? There's a lot of mystery behind Spider-Man Noir. I know that he's in the comics, but like in the Spider-Verse movies, he's like I said, he's kind of a comic relief character. There's not really that much to him, that they're going to have a lot to flesh out here. They're going to have a lot to work with, and the way that they go about it, I'm really curious to see how it's going to turn out. Toxic331 says, Olo, Zach. What's going on, Toxic331? Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Nathan's Dreaded Movie says, what are your top 3 movies of the year thus far? I would go 3-1, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Dune Part 2, and 1 is Civil War. Yeah, I'm going to go Abigail in 3rd place, Dune Part 2 in 2nd, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in 1st. But that could change tomorrow, because I've only seen Kingdom once, and I've only seen Dune Part 2 once. I own Dune Part 2, but it's like 3 hours long, so I haven't really worked it into watching it yet. But I want to watch Kingdom again, and I want to watch Dune Part 2 again before I decide which is first. And I got, like, I'll definitely have to do that before I do my everything of the year ranked at the end of the year, which I got time to do. But yeah, as it is right now, I think Dune Part 2 astounded me a little bit more, but I think I was a little bit more wrapped into Kingdom. I don't know. I like I said, I'll have to watch it again. Toxicame331 says, how's your day been? It's been good, man. How you doing? Nathan Dreaded Movie says, speaking of Nicolas Cage, what is your favorite Nicolas Cage movie? Face Off is my favorite. Face Off is definitely, if it's not up there, it's one of my favorites for sure. Con Air is fun. Mom and Dad is crazy. It's not my favorite Nicolas Cage movie, but Mom and Dad is crazy. Can Kick-Ass count? He's in Kick-Ass. I love him in Kick-Ass. It's not like his movie, but he's in it. So Kick-Ass would be up there too. But yeah, I might go with you. Face Off is definitely one that comes to mind when I think of Nicolas Cage. Toxgator331 says, a Spider-Man Noir series would be dope. Hopefully it's similar to the story we got with Spider-Man Noir in the Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions video game. I have not played that video game. I don't know what story you're referring to, but if it's an awesome story, I hope they do it, man, because I want an awesome story with this. Toxgator331 says, what's a movie, Zach, that you loved at first, but when you watched it a couple of times afterwards, you grew to dislike it? Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, you could always go with ones from my childhood. The biggest one that I've ever had was Suicide Squad 2016. I've told the story on the channel before, but yeah, with 2016 Suicide Squad, I went and saw that with a couple friends of mine who were fangirling out throughout the whole movie. I kind of got wrapped up in their fangirling. I had a great time watching it with them for the first time. Went and told everybody I knew that Suicide Squad was awesome. I had to get my brother and my dad to see it, and I brought them to the theater. I went to see it a second time, and that second viewing of Suicide Squad 2016, without my friends fangirling next to me and influencing my experience, the whole movie just crumbled and fell apart. And it's one of the rare times where I've recommended a movie to someone to go see, and they've come out being like, wow, Zach, you recommended that? Like, my dad and my brother hated Suicide Squad 2016. I didn't hate it. I still think there's some entertainment in it. But yeah, that movie, I was like high coming out of the first time. And the second viewing, it just was like a completely new, different movie to me, where I was like, ooh, this is not good. It was really weird. But that's the biggest example that I've had. 80s Kid from the 90s says, thoughts on Cage as Batman? I don't think he would fit. I don't think Cage would fit as Batman. No, that's what I was trying to think of. Nicolas Cage showed up in The Flash for like a second as Superman, just to fulfill a forgotten movie dream of his. So yeah, I don't think Nicolas Cage is too picky with doing a live action series on Spider-Man Noir, who is arguably probably his most popular character right now. But yeah, as Cage as Batman, I don't see it. I don't think he'd be a good Batman, to be honest with you. Collector Movie Man says, hell no, High School Musical. Yeah, not for everybody, not for everybody. Nathan's Red Movie says, I have never seen any High School Musical. Are they worth watching? Keep in mind, I'm in high school at the moment. That is really tricky for me to answer, because I have some nostalgic to it, you know, and I'm looking through it through nostalgic eyes, because as movies nowadays, they're very campy, they're very cheesy, and the first two were done on Disney Channel, so they feel like Disney Channel. They feel a little bit bigger than some Disney Channel movies do, but they do feel like Disney Channel movies, and you'll feel like you're watching Disney Channel movies, especially like you said, you're in high school now, so you may feel like you've outgrown them without the nostalgia attached to them. But I think High School Musical 3 is legitimately good. Like, High School Musical 3 is when they went to theaters, they wrapped up the trilogy, they got a little more mature and serious with the characters and what they were dealing with graduating high school and having to choose where they go. I really enjoy High School Musical 3 still, and I like High School Musical, and I like High School Musical 2 still. They're fun, nostalgic trips, but as a grown-up watching them, it's hard to recommend them to someone who didn't grow up with them, because I don't know if you liked. I feel like you would pick them apart more than enjoy them. But because I love them, I'm gonna recommend them. I'm gonna say check them out. Check out the first one. If you don't like the first one, you can just stop there. You probably won't like 2 or 3, but check out the first one. See how you feel about it. It's definitely probably my most nostalgic movie series out there. Toxic with 331 says, are you going to be seeing If, The Strangers Chapter 1, or back-to-back in theaters this week? No, I'm actually going out of town this weekend, so I will be with family. I will be busy. I will probably not be seeing either of those movies. There's a slight possible chance. There's like a 5% chance, I would call it, of seeing If tomorrow. Everything has to work out perfectly in order for me to get time to go see If tomorrow, so I wouldn't expect it. But if I'm able to go see If tomorrow, then I'll probably go see If tomorrow. But as far as The Strangers Chapters 1 go, I'm not going to see that one. And if I don't catch If tomorrow, I probably won't end up seeing it. Toxic Gamer 331 says, I think Disney Plus should be working on Sky High 2. Sky High 2. Now, talking about High School Musical and going to Sky High. Sky High did not work for me. I think I saw Sky High when I was just a little bit too late. You know what? Okay, this is totally a rabbit trail, but you know what's a very underrated Disney Channel movie that not enough Disney Channel fans talk about? Minuteman. I don't know if anyone else saw Minuteman out there with Jason Dolly and some other guys that I don't remember the names of. Time travel movie. It was actually pretty cool as a kid. I loved Minuteman. But Sky High, I never really got into Sky High. Toxic Gamer 331 says, also curious, have you decided Kingdom is your favorite movie of the year so far, or is it still Dune Part 2? Like I said, I haven't really decided yet, but I'm honestly leaning towards Kingdom. I'm honestly leaning towards Kingdom being my favorite. I think Kingdom just kind of resonated with me a little bit more, and it also had the benefit of being the fourth in a series of movies that I love the trilogy of. Like, I didn't love Dune Part. I thought Dune Part 1 was good. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't until Dune Part 2 that I loved it. And so Dune Part 2 is really the only thing standing on its own from Dune that I love. So the fact that Kingdom had all these other movies that I loved attached to it, which just kind of strengthened it for me, I do think I'm leaning towards Kingdom being my favorite of the year, because I'm still thinking about it. I love it. Toxic Gamer 331 says, I think the High School Musical trilogy ended well. I don't know why we have to have a fourth film. I completely agree. Nathan Dread Movie says, how would you rank the Planet of the Apes reboot franchise? Ooh, good question. The reboot franchise. Oh, see, that's tricky. I think Dawn is still at the top. I think Dawn is still really compelling and drama-filled, and I love Dawn. So I think Dawn is still at the top. I do think I'm going to go with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in second place, though. At the moment, I think I'm going to go Kingdom. I think I'm going to go War next, and then I think I'm going to go Rise. Yeah, but Rise is... That's the thing about this, not just trilogy now, but these 4 movies. They are all so freaking good that it's hard to, like, really rank. I think the only one that I feel confident in putting maybe last or second to last is War, because I think War is a really great Caesar character drama, but as far as the other movies, I don't think it's as entertaining. But I also haven't watched War in a couple years, so I think I need to go back and refresh myself on all of the movies before I can officially rank them. But as for now, I'll say Dawn, Kingdom, War, and then Rise. Dakota My Movie says, did you ever watch the High School Musical show? Only a very little bit of it. I didn't. It wasn't really for me. Doxy 331 says, since we're talking about early 2000s Disney movies, have you seen the underrated Lemonade Mouth? If so, what are your thoughts? Lemonade Mouth. Yes. Completely underrated. Talk about an underrated Disney channel. Well, is it underrated? Because I think a lot of people actually talk about that a lot more than talk about Minuteman. That's for sure. Yeah, no, Lemonade Mouth I loved. That came out when I was in the 6th grade, and I even remember in the 6th grade being like, that is the best Disney Channel movie since High School Musical. That's what I remember thinking. And I think it still holds up. I think it's a sweet story. I like the characters. I love the music in it. Is it a little Disney Channel-ish still? Yeah, of course it is. But honestly, of all the Disney Channel movies, that is one that I can still watch pretty happily today. And I do have a lot of nostalgia for it as well. Let's see here. We got Toxic Gamer saying, also, have you seen Baby's Day Out? It's a very fun guilty pleasure. I have seen it. I can't share your guilty pleasure love for it. I just thought it was dumb. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it that much, man. I'm glad that it's a guilty pleasure for you and you can have fun with it. I cannot. Michael 11591 says, please no more High School Musical. I mean, I'm kind of with you there. I don't think it would work. I honestly don't. I don't see how it could work. ToxGamer331 says, I think tomorrow I officially crossed the 4-year mark of being a YouTuber. Nice, man. That is awesome. Congratulations, dude. 4 years. I mean, look, that is not, like, I just crossed 5 years, and it is a grind. It is work, but it is such a fun hobby. I enjoy YouTube so much. So get into 4 years, man. That is no small feat. You should be very proud of yourself, man. Congratulations on 4 years. Keep going. Keep going. ToxGamer331 says, also, have you seen Tomorrowland? I have. Not the biggest fan of Tomorrowland. I don't even really remember it all that much. I remember the third act kind of falling apart for me, but other than that, I don't really remember that movie all that much. I thought it was kind of boring, and I think it kind of just washed over me and left my brain. 80s Given 90s says, I hope Syndrome returns in Incredibles 3 when it's announced. I mean, you'd have to do something, I guess, supernatural with it, because he pretty definitively died at the end of The Incredibles. I mean, maybe you could retcon it somehow. But I don't know, man. He got sucked into that plane propeller, and I don't know. I'm trying to remember the scene well enough. Could they explain it as like his cape got ripped off of his suit and only went into the propeller, and he didn't go into the propeller? But at the same time, the plane exploded. They would have to do a lot of stretching to explain how Syndrome is back. So I don't think they should do it. I don't think they should bring back Syndrome. I'm sure there's a lot of temptation to do so, but I think it would be a mistake. Michael 11591 says, I went to the 40th anniversary of Transformers G1 tonight, and they showed 4 episodes of the G1 series. By the way, wish you were joining the watch along tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I can't make it tomorrow night. Like I said, there's even a 5% chance that I'll get to see If tomorrow, if everything goes perfectly right, because there's plans currently for tomorrow that may not happen, that I'm being told, but we'll see what happens. But I do appreciate the invite, dude. And also, that's awesome about the Transformers G1 series, dude. I'm glad you got to see that. That must have been on the big screen too. That's awesome. 80s Given 90 says, most comics go from $3 to $6. I guess if you're getting like them issue by issue, but I'm talking about like the collections, like if you want to read the full arcs, because otherwise it's like, all right, I gotta remember to buy the next issue next week, and I won't be able to do that. I won't be able to do that. ToxGamer331, have you seen Carrie? I have not seen Carrie. I'm interested in seeing it though. 80s Given 90 says, comics used to cost $1 for the longest time. I bet those were the days. Nathan Van Movie says, will you watch Bad Boys Ride or Die? I just did a collab with Dragon Movie Guy. We talked about all the upcoming June movies, so definitely check that out if you haven't gotten a chance yet. We talked about Bad Boy Ride or Die. Maybe I might see it. I'm not that interested, to be honest. I like Bad Boys 1. I don't really like 2. I liked 3. But I'm not like eager to watch it. I'm not like eager to go back with those characters and in that world. And it's not a franchise that I resonate very much with. So if it comes out, if I'm not busy, I'll probably do it to review it on the channel. But as far as like passionately wanting to watch it, not really there. All right, we'll take this comment and then we'll go on to topic number 3. And we got Collective Movie Man saying, I thought it was really stupid that they cut up the swear words for the Deadpool trailer in theaters. You would think they'd want to leave that in so people would know it's a Deadpool movie. I can see where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's not. This isn't uncommon. This is a very common thing. It's not just Deadpool. It's all movies kind of have to do this, because if you're going to a PG movie, if you're going to a PG-13 movie, they don't play full R-rated trailers in front of the movie. If you were going to an R-rated movie, like if you go to an R-rated movie and they play the Deadpool trailer and it ends up being the clean version, I can understand why you'd be like, why don't they just play the R-rated version? We're in an R-rated movie. But like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, for example, like, yeah, there were people my age there. There was younger kids there too as well. It's a PG-13? I think it's PG-13. It's a PG-13 movie. So they can't play an R-rated sweary trailer in front of it. They just can't. So I'm not surprised that they're doing that. But like I said, if it's an R-rated movie, if you're going to see like Abigail and Deadpool is playing the clean version, I can see your confusion. But other than that, I don't think there's any question as to why they're doing that here. All right. With that, let's move on. Let's talk about topic number 3. And this topic, I'm very excited about, because one of my favorite movies from, was it last year? Was it 2022? I can't even remember anymore. But John Wick Chapter 4, it must have been, crap, that must have been last year. Wow. Okay, yeah. So John Wick Chapter 4 came out in 2023, was one of my favorite movies of the year, and one character that quickly became my favorite in the John Wick franchise was Donnie Yen as Caine. I loved this character, not just because Donnie Yen kicked so much butt as the character in the movie, but I also loved the relationship with him and John Wick. I loved the little backstories we got. I loved that he was blind and it didn't faze him in his fighting at all. I just thought he was a brilliant character, and Donnie Yen did such a phenomenal job with this character. Well, it is official. The John Wick franchise is trying to expand. We are getting Ballerina sometime this year, unless that's been delayed. I can't remember. With Ana de Armas, and we're going to maybe get a John Wick cameo on that one too. But another spinoff is coming to us, and it's coming to us with Donnie Yen in the lead role. It's gonna be about Caine. And my first thoughts on this is it's about time. This comes to us. Where am I at? This comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter, and they had to say, Lionsgate is developing a John Wick spin-off movie around Donnie Yen's Caine assassin character. Yen will reprise his John Wick Chapter 4 role in the untitled project set to shoot in Hong Kong in 2025. The franchise-expanding film, with no director yet announced, will follow the events of John Wick 4 as Caine has been freed from his obligations to the High Table. Stileski is developing the spin-off movie around Yen's character as part of a recent announced deal with Lionsgate to expand the John Wick universe. The latest movie after the Ballerina spin-off will be overseen by the franchise producers Thunder Road's Basil Iwagnek, I can't say that word, and Erica Lee and Stileski, who produces through his 8711 Entertainment production banner. The untitled Caine project has a screenplay being written by Robert Askins. From the moment that Donnie Yen appeared on the screen in John Wick Chapter 4, he captivated audiences and created an authentic emotional connection that left an undeniable mark and had fans asking for more, Adam Fogelson, chair of the Lionsgate Motion Picture Group, said in his own statement. And it's very true. What he's saying there is very true, at least for me, because, like I said, loved this character in John Wick Chapter 4. And at the end of John Wick Chapter 4, they did kind of set up that there was more happening with this character. There was a revenge tale that was probably going to happen with this character as someone is coming after him. And that's kind of where they left it off. Now, I've been waiting for this announcement, honestly, to come out for a little bit now, especially at the end of John Wick Chapter 4, because I thought this character was ripe to have a spin-off series of his own. And I'm very happy that this article mentions that it's going to be a continuation from where we left off in John Wick Chapter 4, and that it's not going to be a prequel. Because I feel like the easy thing to do with John Wick, we are supposed to be getting a John Wick 5, but at the moment, at the moment, John Wick Chapter 4 has Keanu Reeves in the ground buried. John Wick is dead. I personally think he's meant to be dead. I think John Wick 5 would just be a cash grab and just creatively avoid. But we'll talk about that some other time. That's a different topic. Basically, it's very easy for them to want to do a prequel to this, to have Keanu Reeves involved, to show how they met, to show some of their relationship. I was worried about that a little bit because I kind of like the mystery behind this character. I kind of like keeping this character in the dark from the audiences in some ways, and doing a continuation from Chapter 4 and expanding his story forward. That's what I'm more interested in seeing. I'm more interested in learning about this character in the current timeline through events that'll happen in his movie. Now, it says that a director has not been announced yet. They have no director attached to it. That will determine how excited I really get about this, because, of course, Donnie Yen in Chapter 4 had fantastic fight choreography and fight scenes, and they were shot so well and so beautifully, and they were just so riveting that if we get a director announced and it's not someone who can pull that off necessarily, then this will lessen my excitement for Donnie Yen Caine movie. But if we get a director, like if one of the directors from previous John Wick movies come in, even if like David Leitch is technically a previous director of a John Wick, but if you get like a David Leitch in here, I'm going to be really stoked about this, because I want to see this guy kick more butt. I want to see more action. I want to learn more about this character, and I want Donnie Yen to have the full spotlight. I think he completely earns it, especially after what he did in John Wick Chapter 4. If you're going to expand the John Wick universe, Ballerina has me intrigued, but this has me excited to see what John Wick can do next. Anyway, guys, those are all my thoughts and opinions on this news. But what did you guys think of it? What did you guys think of Donnie Yen coming back to do his own Caine movie? Are you excited for it? Are you less excited for it than I am? Comment down below and let me know all your thoughts and opinions about that, guys. And with that topic out of the way, because like I said, we got quite a bit of topics today that we're just going to get through. Let's move on and let's talk about this. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, this is a movie that I was nervous about when they announced, because that trilogy is just so great. And I love that trilogy like a lot of people love. Rise, Dawn, War. Fantastic story of Caesar's rise and humanity's fall. They couldn't have done it any better. So when they announce a fourth installment, naturally, after you have a great trilogy, a fourth installment always makes me go, is it going to ruin everything? And then I went and saw the movie, and it did not ruin. It just made everything better. I loved Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, I know that's not a universal agreement statement. I mean, it's got a B Cinema score coming out of its weekend, so it's kind of low for the Planet of the Apes movies as far as audience enjoyment. There's some people who didn't enjoy the movie all that much. In fact, it does have the lowest Rotten Tomatoes score, I think, of the Planet of the Apes movie. Rise might be lower, but it definitely didn't get to the heights of Dawn and War. It did, however, have a pretty decent weekend. Now, let's talk about the weekend box office for this. And let's talk about the weekend box office for this, not by Donnie Yen, but by this. Let's go through and look at the previous movies in this franchise. So you got Rise of the Planet of the Apes, right? It made $54,806,000 opening weekend. Went on to do 176 domestically, 305 internationally, and 481 million worldwide. So you move from Rise and you get Dawn, and Dawn went on to do 72 million opening weekend, 208 domestically, 502 internationally, worldwide 710. And then we got to War, and War took a little bit of a step down. It got 56 million opening weekend, 146 domestically, 343 internationally, and 490 million worldwide. So it was a little bit of a step down from Dawn's 710, and just a little bit where am I going here? And just a little bit above Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So with that context in mind, where exactly did Kingdom land? Well, this comes to us from Forbes, and they had this to say. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes takes top spot at box office with 56.5 million opening weekend, beating expectations. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the sequel to 2017's War of the Planet of the Apes, took the top spot at the box office this weekend, according to data from Box Office Mojo, bringing in 56.5 million, slightly surpassing expectations for its debut weekend. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes debuted globally at $129 million, as it brought in about 72.5 million at the overseas box office, according to Box Office Mojo. All right, guys. So with that in mind, what can we say about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes opening weekend? We can say very consistent. That's what I would say. I think it did very, very well. Like it said, it beat expectations. And when you look at the opening weekends for the previous trilogy, Rise, Dawn to War, this is very much in the same pocket. I mean, it's only a little bit above War, so it didn't lose many fans coming off of the trilogy going into the fourth one. It looks like the people still showed up for this movie, which I'm very glad about, because I really did love this movie. I thought Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was beautiful and gorgeous, and just a great story and continuation of Caesar's legacy while bringing in new characters and expanding the world even more. And I just love seeing audiences enjoy a blockbuster like this, because this is not a big action-packed blockbuster type movie, punch 'em up kind of movie that you used to. It is philosophical. It is deep. It is a slow burn at times, but everything about it has purpose. And I love that people still came out to this movie, even though I think it's the longest of the movies too, at like just over 2.5 hours. So where the question is going to be, how is it going to do next weekend? We got If opening, we got Strangers opening. How is it going to do this weekend? Is it going to take less than a 50% drop? Is it going to do more than 60%? Which, if you do more than 60% of a drop, that's pretty bad for your movie. If you do less than 50% of a drop, you're doing pretty well. I think this movie is going to have a drop, and I think it's probably going to be close to that 60% mark more than it's going to be less than 50, only because I do think that it is pretty long. I do think you have If opening up, which is getting really good reviews at the moment. At least word of mouth is really good at the moment. And I think families are going to want to go to that. I think kids are going to want to go to If, and families are going to want to take their kids to If over Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And that B Cinema score from the audience. I don't think many people like the slowness of this blockbuster at times. I personally ate it up. I loved it. But as far as the opening weekend goes, congrats to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. You stand up with the rest of the franchise, and I'm hoping that this will surpass War's worldwide take, and I hope that this will become a huge, huge hit because I want more movies. I think at this point we're going to get a sequel to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, but whether or not they're going to hit that 9 movie mark that they're talking about depends on if audiences show up and if these movies continue to make money. And Kingdom doing this well, doing this consistent with the rest of the franchise has me happy. I think we're going to get to 9 films, and I am here for it. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes opening weekend and just the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie in general? Did it live up to your expectations? Did it disappoint you? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about that, guys. And with those topics out of the way, let's go back and let's take your comments and questions because we still have 2 other topics to get through, ladies and gentlemen. It is quite the night of topics. So we got Toxic Gamer 331 saying, here's a tough question, Zach. Keep, watch, or burn? Jaws, Jurassic Park, and Back to the Future. You took my favorite movies of all time. Crap. Yeah, that is okay. Oh, you've got me good. Obviously, I'm keeping Back to the Future. The one I'm struggling with is Jurassic Park and Jaws. I think I'm going to. Oh man, it feels wrong saying this, but I think I'm gonna burn Jurassic Park, and I think I'm gonna watch Jaws, and that kills me, man. That kills me to say because I don't even have a reasoning for why I chose those in particular. I want to keep them all. I want to watch them all. Thankfully, in life, I actually can keep and watch them all. But for this question, that's a stumper. That's hard. I don't have any reason why I would burn Jurassic Park. It's just because I have to pick an option, and I don't know. I love Jaws. I love Jaws. Collective Movie Man says, one of my favorite movies with Nicolas Cage is Con Air. If you've never seen it, Zach, definitely check it out. I've seen it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. 80s Kid from the 90s says, great stream, Zach. Well, thank you so much, 80s Kid. I really appreciate that. That's such kind words of you to say. Collective Movie Man says, sorry I messed up your name. My speech was being stupid. Don't worry about it. Michael 11591 says, good for you to skip the Solo movie. Yeah, it's just, I can't have my wife's introduction to Solo be not Harrison Ford. Nothing against Alden Ehrenreich, but it can't. You need to be introduced to Han Solo the way Han Solo was intended to be introduced, and that is Harrison Ford. So I already don't like that her introduction to Luke is the little kid in the Obi-Wan series. Like, you should have Mark Hamill. That should be your introduction to Luke. It shouldn't be this little nobody kid. No offense to the kid. I'm sure he's a nice kid, but still, nobody kid on Obi-Wan should not be who you think Luke Skywalker is. So, yeah, I can't do it with Solo. Maybe we'll go back to it, but I also don't really like Solo all that much, which we actually, on Members Talk Live, we did a ranking of the Star Wars movies with T and Ryan, and that's up on the channel now if you want to check that out, get our full thoughts on all the Star Wars movies, but I am not a big fan of Solo, so I'll leave it at that. Dakota Man Movies says, you got the Deadpool trailer and I got the trailer for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in front of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. There's always for Furiosa. Yeah, no, I did not get Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in front of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I didn't get that one. I was waiting for it. When I was sitting there, I was thinking about you, Dakota. I was like, okay, Dakota said he got Kingdom before Kingdom. I wonder if I'm going to get it. And I was waiting, but never came. Never happened. And not going to say I was disappointed. All right, we just got a super chat sent in here. We got a super chat from Michael Entity. Dude, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for being a beloved channel member and a friend and supporting the channel on that level, dude. That means so much. You're saying, hey, Zach, you and your wife should do more movie reactions. You guys are awesome. If you ever do it again, definitely react to Sling Blade. Yeah, I got to watch Sling Blade. Yes. My wife and I's movie reactions. That is something definitely that we still talk about. It's on the table. If you guys haven't seen some of our movie reactions, I've got a playlist on the channel you can check out. We've done a couple. We've had a blast doing them. They are a lot of work, though. They are a lot of work, and not only are they a lot of work, they require time and they require energy. And there's a lot of times where we talk about doing another movie reaction. We talk about doing it. We talk about which movie it would be. And then the day comes and we're just kind of tired from work. Or my wife is extremely busy, way busier than I am. She's got work and then she's got some stuff on the side at home that she works on too. So definitely not the end of the movie reactions. I will say I appreciate that, by the way, Michael, that you remember our movie reactions and want to see more. I won't promise that more are on the way, but it's definitely something we still talk about and we still want to do. It's just a matter of time, energy, effort, and is it worth it, basically. So I appreciate the question, man. I appreciate that a lot, and hopefully we'll get another one up for you guys soon. All right, where did we leave off? Right here. Talks Game with 331 says, I went to my friend's graduation. Awesome, dude. Dakota Man Movie says, did you see that the Deadpool PSA on the cell phones is coming to theaters soon? I did not. You know what? This is kind of a sidetrack a little bit, but you know what I realized I actually really enjoy? And it started, I believe the trend started with Tom Cruise at Top Gun Maverick. I kind of like when they introduce the movie with the actor and the director sitting there thanking us for coming to the theater. Like when Tom Cruise did it with Top Gun Maverick, it was like, okay, yeah, COVID times, I get it. It's a risk to be here. Thank you for having us, kind of thing. And then they did it with Mission Impossible. And then it kind of became this thing where more and more people started doing it. And I think the last one I got it for was Fall Guy. It was David Leitch and Ryan Gosling sitting there addressing the audience, thanking us for being at the theater and supporting the movies. And there was something about it that I hadn't seen it in a while. I hadn't seen it since Mission Impossible, and I kind of liked it a lot more. I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is really considerate and really nice of you to thank me for paying my money to come see your movie that I might not end up liking. I like that. It actually makes me go into the movie a little bit more forgiving in some ways, or ready to be more forgiving, because it's like, okay, this movie might suck, but at least the director and the actor were nice to me. So that's a little bit of a sidetrack, but I was just thinking about that the other day. But yes, I will be impatiently, I should say, looking forward to this Deadpool PSA on the cell phones. I think it sounds great. The View with Drew says, hey everyone, guess who's back? It's Drew. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us, Drew. Collective Movie Man says, did you hear about the Rings of Power Season 2 trailer dropping? You know what's funny? Right after Rings of Power trailer dropped, the final trailer for House of the Dragons dropped. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't watch the trailers. I didn't watch Rings of Power Season 1, just didn't get around to it, and then I eventually didn't care about it, to be honest. So, and I didn't watch House of the Dragon, so I didn't watch any of those trailers, but I know a lot of people were very excited, and I'm happy for them. Talks Gamer 331 says, if you went to a deserted island and had to only pick 7 people to be there with you from your subscribers, who would you choose? Wow, that's rough, dude. From my subscribers, I gotta bring my buddy Zach Attack Reviews along. I gotta bring Zach Guller along. See, that's the thing, is that there's subscribers that I have deeper connections to for 7 people. So they're the ones that come to mind, but I'm gonna leave someone out and they're gonna get so mad at me. I got my Zach Attack Reviews, I got Zach Guller, because you gotta have the Zachs. You gotta have the Zachs together. I'd bring Chillmonger, because Chillmonger, maybe I'd eventually learn his real name if he was on a desert island with me. And I think he'd be a fun presence and probably bring some of the laughs. Probably gonna bring Luke Ponto, because he's such an encyclopedia of film that if I'm missing film, he can probably do a one-man show of any movie that I would ask him to do. I'd be like, you know what, I want to watch Dumb and Dumber, and I don't have Dumb and Dumber available to me because we're on a desert island. Luke, act out Dumb and Dumber, quotes and all, and I think he would do it. So I'll bring Zach Attack, I'll bring Zach Gull, I'll bring Chillmonger, I'll bring Luke Ponto, I'll bring Jacob Hubbard, because he's just a funny guy. I love hanging out with that guy. As far as 2 more, I gotta bring to Ace Avenue, because he's just been such a great supporter that, you know, like, if we're all stuck on a desert island together, I think he deserves to be there with us. As cruel as that sounds in context, but I'll bring to Ace Avenue for sure. Okay, one more. That's so mean. I bring all of you. I bring all of you in one box. I bring one box and it would collect all of you. I mean, that's a bit of a cop-out. Let's see. One last person. And you know what? If it's not someone... You know who I would bring? I would bring my buddy Sully. I'd bring Sully Streams. That's who I would bring. I'd bring Sully Streams. So I've got Zach Attack, I got Zach Guller, I got Luke Ponto, I got Jacob Hubbard, I got Chillmonger, I've got the Ace Avenue, and I bring Sully Streams. And I wish I could bring more, but you only told me 7. So those are the ones that I'm bringing this time around. Toxic Gamer 331 says this Spider-Man Noir series gives me Sin City vibes. You know what? That aesthetic could work. I actually would not be against them doing that aesthetic for Spider-Man Noir. Toxic Gamer 331 saying hi, Drew. Welcome back. Yes, welcome back, Drew. Thanks for being here, my friend. Collector Movie Man says I watched the first season of Rings of Power. I thought it was okay, but I'm still going to watch season 2. But I'm more excited for House of the Dragon and +5 until it starts House of the Dragon. I don't know what +5 means. 5 months, 5 days, 5 years. I'm not quite, but I'm happy for you, man. Like I said, I haven't really seen anything from it, so all I can say is I know a lot of people love it, and I'm excited for the people who love it. Toxic Gamer 331 says, in Spider-Man Shattered Dimension, Spider-Man Noir's version is insanely dark. Sounds about right. Toxic Gamer 331 says, Vulture in that universe is a cannibal, and he ate Uncle Ben. Oh, I love that. They can do that in PG-13, can't they? They can do that in PG-13. That's messed up. That's messed up. That's really funny, though. Toxic Gamer was saying my day's been good. Glad to hear it, man. Green Goblin is creepy too. Oh, he freaked me out as a kid completely. Collector Movie Man says I've seen 70 movies this year, and 7 of them are movies in theaters. Nice, man. I definitely have not seen 70 movies, but that's awesome. That's awesome that you've gotten that many. Toxic Gamer 331 says he's like a big mob boss of all the Spider-Man villains. That's a really cool take on Vulture. I might take out the cannibalism, but that's pretty cool. Toxic Gamer 331 says, same. Originally, I loved Suicide Squad when I was younger, and now I think it's watchable, but very, very flawed. Watchable is a good way of putting it. It is watchable. You can sit there, your eyes can view it, and eventually it'll end. Toxic Gamer 331 says, a hot take of my 2 friends, Jax and Ace. They actually really liked the 2016 Suicide Squad more than the 2021, which I haven't seen. Oh, dude. Excuse me. You have got to see the 2021 Suicide Squad. James Gunn, oh, fantastic film. Not enough people saw it because it came out day and day and came out during COVID, so it flopped at the box office big time. But it is such a fun, entertaining, great movie. Way better than 2016, if you ask me. So I highly recommend checking out the 2021 Suicide Squad. Toxic Gamer 331 says High School Musical 2 is my favorite of the trilogy. Nice, man. Of the trilogy, it's probably... Oh, maybe my second favorite. I think I'd put it above the... I think the musical sequence and the music within High School Musical 2 is some of the best of the entire franchise. I think if I was to do a top 5 best songs of High School Musical, I think at least 3 of them would be from High School Musical 2. As far as the story goes, though, I think... it's funny to say that about a Disney Channel movie, but I think it has a lot of issues, and I think there's a lot of weak motivations that keeps it from being my favorite. And I think the first one is a little bit stronger in that regard. You know what? I'm just gonna rank High School Musical. My next ranking video is gonna be the High School Musical trilogy. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna watch them all, and I'm gonna rank them. I'm going to rank that. That is official. That I can officially announce that I will do an official High School Musical ranking video for you guys. Get excited. Collective Movie Man says, Zach, question for you: do you think we will get the new Planet of the Apes movie on 4K through Disney, because Disney is known to not put their movies out physically? I think they will. I think they'll still put it out because I think they're big blockbusters. I mean, the thing about Disney, and we kind of did a story about this too, is that they're not really even doing their Blu-rays anymore. They've passed it on. They've passed the baton. They have hired hands with Sony. Now Sony's taking over all of Disney's Blu-rays. So I do think that that's going to up the chances of getting more Disney Blu-rays and 4Ks because they're no longer dealing with them. They've lent them off to another hand. But the fact that they've put out they're putting out Disney Plus shows on Blu-ray. We just got Obi-Wan and Andor and Falcon Winter Soldier and Moon Knight released on physical media and on 4K. We had Prey released. I think if they're going to do Disney Plus, they're going to do theatrical. I don't think there'll be any worries about getting Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on 4K physically. I think you'll definitely be able to do that. I mean, they're still putting out Marvel movies and Indiana Jones came out on 4K. So yeah, I wouldn't have any worry. I don't think we're at the point yet where Disney isn't going to release any physical media anymore. Toxic Gamer 331 says, agreed. Kingdom is my favorite of the year. Awesome, dude. I love hearing people love the movies that I love. So that's awesome. Collective Movie Man says, Zach's channel, he did trailer reactions for different trailers, and he showed us this trailer with a movie coming out with Nicolas Cage. It scared the F out of me, but I'm also intrigued by it. Zach channel, he did trailer reactions. Zach Attack? are you talking about Zach Attack Reviews did a trailer reaction? Because I know Zach does a lot of trailer reactions over on his channel. He's very good at them. But I don't know which one you're referring to. But I don't even know what this Nicolas Cage movie is. Interesting. Trev's Movies. What's going on, Trev? Thanks for joining us, my friend. Thanks for being here. It says, question for the chat. Did anyone else see Not Another Church movie this past week? If so, did you stay for the whole thing or leave halfway through? I forgot that was a thing. That movie came out, huh? Oof. Toxic331 says, I have the exact same ranking for the reboot Planet of the Apes movies. Nice, man. I love all 4. Me too, dude. They're so good. Trev's Movie says, Zach, Not Another Church movie is so poorly made that my videos have more quality and more of a budget than that. Sad. Sorry, excuse for motion picture. Yeah. I don't really care to watch it. I'm a Christian. I have faith. I have my own beliefs, and I go to church every Sunday. So to watch a movie that's obviously spoofing that kind of community or culture, whatever you want to call it, yeah, I'm not really interested. And I didn't think it looked good. And I don't think that the spoof genre is thriving by any means. So I didn't think it was going to be good. So to hear it's not good is not shocking at all. I'm not falling out of my seat of shock. I'm just more so shocked that anyone went to go see it. That anyone went to go see it. But I also didn't see any trailers for it or anything. So maybe it had a great marketing campaign. I don't think so. Toxgamer331 says, War is an awesome movie, but I feel it's the least rewatchable out of the 4 because of how sad it is. But I think out of War Rise, War is the better movie. Fair enough. Like I said, I'm doing it all based off memories of movies I watched a couple of years ago. I need to go back and rewatch the entire trilogy. Well, I watched Rise and Dawn a couple months back, but I never got around to watching War again. So War is the only one that I haven't seen in a couple of years. Toxgamer331 says, I also think Rise isn't as rewatchable as Dawn and Kingdom, but again, like War, all 4 are awesome in their own ways. I think I think Rise gets really, really good once Caesar is put into the captivity with the apes. I think the setup for everything is fine. I don't mind James Franco and his dad with Alzheimer's and trying to cure Alzheimer's. I don't mind all that. I think it's done pretty good. But when you get Caesar and he's rising up as the leader and he's taking all the apes to revolt against humanity, and then you get the stuff on the bridge, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's very well done. But I definitely don't think it's as good as Dawn and Kingdom. And again, I have to watch War. Toxgamer331 says, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I think, surpassed Wreck-It Ralph, and it's my 10th favorite movie of all time. Wow, that's awesome, man. You watched it for the first time recently? Is that why it surpassed Wreck-It Ralph recently? Toxgamer331 says, also, Koba is among my top 3 favorite movie villains of all time. Koba's great. Great arc. Great setup. I think they could have done more with him, honestly. I mean, I know that for story purposes, it makes sense why they got rid of him in Dawn, but I honestly think you could have carried him over into War. Yeah, he was a really good villain. But you know what? I think Proximus Caesar might be my favorite. Trev's Movies says, Zach, have you ever thought about reviewing smaller films or movies that might not get that much attention? Example, I Saw the TV Glow or Robot Dreams. Yeah, absolutely. The only thing is that my theater doesn't normally get those. My theater doesn't normally go for the smaller movie. Like, I Saw the TV Glow and Robot Dreams. Is Robot Dreams out? Because if Robot Dreams is out, my theater didn't get it. I know that I Saw the TV Glow is out. That's another thing, too, is keeping up with what's on streaming, what's in theaters can sometimes be really tricky. And it's all about time. It's all about time management, of course. It's not that I don't want to. If I had all the time in the world, I would review so many more movies. When I was unemployed, that's why you got reviews of like Ricky Stenicki and Damsel and Spaceman, because I had the time. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't working, so I was able to watch those streaming movies and get reviews up for them. That's why you don't see too many streaming movies. Like Unfrosted, I wanted to get around to watching Unfrosted, even though some people told me not to watch Unfrosted. I just haven't gotten around to it. I didn't have the time. So it's not that I don't want to. I definitely am considering it, because sometimes smaller movies and those lesser known ones, you know, the competition is lessened, so they can do really well on some channels. So it's definitely not that I don't want to. It's just a matter of can I, and sometimes I can't. Collector Movie Man says Ballerina has been delayed till next year. Okay, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was delayed. I just couldn't remember. Nathan Jenner Movie says I would totally watch a Caine spinoff. Also, remember that Continental show on Peacock? I don't know if anyone watched that. I don't know if anyone remembers that, because I definitely didn't watch that. I remember being so excited for the Continental. I was so amped to watch it. And then the first reactions and reviews came out, and they were terrible. and I just never got around to watching it. And then I totally forgot about it until you just brought it up right now. Brandon Hornsby, what's going on, Brandon? Thanks for joining us, my friend. Says, I'm super excited for the Caine spinoff. Hopefully they make a spinoff for Halle Berry's character from John Wick 3 too. I think there was supposed to be a spinoff with her. I think they were going to do that years ago. And I don't know, it just fizzled out. It didn't get going. It didn't get off the ground. But I'd be up for that. Collective Movie Man says, I really enjoyed the new Planet of the Apes movie, but I do like the Matt Reeves Planet of the Apes better. I like the story with it and about Caesar. I mean, look, there are things in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes that Westball did that I thought rivaled what Matt Reeves did in some ways. But Matt Reeves is probably still the GOAT. Is probably still the GOAT of the Planet of the Apes. And you know what? Not enough people give Rupert Wyatt credit for Rise. I think he did a great job with Rise and set the foundation for everything. But yeah, of the three directors, I do think Matt Reeves still has it because he's done two. If Westball does a full trilogy, we'll see how I feel after that. But there are definitely things in Kingdom that I thought Westball might have over Matt Reeves. Talks Gamer 331 says, did you ever get around to seeing the Continental? Nope, I did not. Travis Movie says, War for the Planet of the Apes was actually one of the first few films that got me even more into movies. That is awesome, man. I'm so glad to hear that. That is so great when movies do that, and it's also cool to hear, because that wasn't for me. Like, I was already so into movies by the time War came out, but it's so cool to hear that was your gateway into getting more into movies. That's so cool. Talks Gamer 331 says, thank goodness Kingdom wasn't a bomb. Yeah, could you imagine? I would have been so disappointed because we probably wouldn't get more if that was the case. Also, can we talk about the budget on Kingdom? It was I think it was $160 million for that budget, and that thing looks better than oh my goodness, Fast 10, which had like a $300 million budget. It definitely looked better than The Flash. It definitely looked better than like even the Marvel stuff. Like, it looked way better than Ant-Man. It looked way better than the Marvels. Like, what they were able to accomplish in a $160 million budget, where all the characters are motion captured and need CGI constantly. These studios, man, they just spend way too much money on unnecessary things that they don't need to spend money on. Shoot on practical locations, like I love that in Kingdom. It looks so good. Talks Gamer 331 says, I found myself invested the whole entire time in Kingdom. You and me, my friend. What am I trying to say? You and I were both captivated, my friend. I don't know what I'm trying to say. That's the closest I can get. Talks Gamer 331 says, how would you rank all the human and ape villains from the Planet of the Apes reboot franchise, including Proximus Caesar? All the human and ape villains? I don't know. How many have there been? Isn't there just Koba and Proximus Caesar and Woody Harrelson? Who's the villain in, I guess, Tom Felton in Rise? I guess Tom Felton's kind of the villain. Or the head of the science organization, corporation, whatever it is, or James Franco, because he's the one who made the virus possible. I don't know. I can't off the top of my head think of that. I'm sorry, man. Zach Attack Reviews, beloved channel member, beloved friend. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. So happy to have you here. Saying yo right back to you, my friend. Travis Movies says, thoughts on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes box office. What a wonderful day. Yes, it did well. It did well. Zach Attack Review says, I think the B Cinema score shows this may not do as well as it should. Oh, I think so too. I'm hoping, like I said, the repeat viewings, I expect a drop this weekend. I expect closer to a 60% than I expect lower than a 50%. If this thing drops going into its second weekend less than 50%, I will be shocked, honestly. If it's like 80, I'll be shocked as well. But if it's like 58 to 65, even 70, I won't be shocked. That's kind of where I expect it. But we'll see. We'll see how it does. I'm worried for it, though, because I want more. I want so much more. Talks Here with the says, Jaws, Back to the Future, and Jurassic Park are among my top 10 of all time, too. Nice, dude. Yeah, excellent films. Excellent films. All right, and now we are at, we just did a huge jump there. Oh, my goodness. Now we're at Michael Entity's Super Chat, so this is a great time to pause and go into, believe it or not, another topic. Like I said, it's a packed show tonight, guys. So let's get into this next topic here. And the next topic here, where is it here? There we go, is going to be this. Lord of the Rings. This is a franchise that's been kind of dormant for over a decade. Yeah, we had Rings of Power come out on Amazon. We're getting to season 2, but after The Hobbit finished up in like 2012 or whatever it was, we haven't really gotten anything from Lord of the Rings as far as the Peter Jackson lived-in world of Lord of the Rings. And we do have an animated movie coming out, War of Rohirrim or whatever it's called. I can't remember because I'm not that. I don't speak Tolkien very well. But there is a Lord of the Rings animated movie coming out this year. But they are also at Warner Brothers. They are going back into Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson's lived-in world. And we got this announcement about a couple days ago with Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum coming out. It's going to be directed by Andy Serkis. It's going to be starring Andy Serkis. Now, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about this movie initially announced because I didn't know what the direction was going to be with it, obviously. My assumption was that it was going to be introducing us to new characters, going after Gollum, and Gollum was just kind of going to be the side piece of the movie. But it looks like they are indeed planning on this being a Gollum-centric movie. This comes to us from... Why can't I find it here? There we go. This comes to us from Deadline. And they had to say, Gollum's story is one of the most compelling to us in terms of a character that we couldn't go as deeply into as we wanted to before, which sounds strange when you say that, given how familiar he is to everyone, Bowen's told Deadline. So these are people who are working on the film. We got Serkis in here. They're talking about why they chose to do Gollum, to center on Gollum for the next Lord of the Rings movie. Goes on to say, Gollum's lifespan takes place in such an interesting period of Middle-earth. When the question was first asked, this was the first story we thought of, because I can tell you, and people might not believe this, but we had zero expectations of going back to this. It wasn't something we were looking to do particularly. So when the question was asked, what would draw you back? And it was about working with the people we were working with. It was also about the chance to work with Mike DeLuca and Pam Abney at the studio. Alan Horn is now back at the studio. It just felt right. That included the elevation of Serkis to the director's chair. Peter has always admired Andy's abilities as a director, she said. That's why he asked him to shoot his second unit. It was kind of a no-brainer. It was never about why Andy. It was like, please, God, let Andy say yes. We wanted him to tell the story of Gollum and the hunt for Gollum as soon as we decided, okay, that's the story. And Pete knew he didn't want to direct going back into the world of Middle Age. Obviously, this is Peter Jackson. Peter really enjoyed working with Kenja Kamiyana, who directed War of the Rohirrim. As soon as Pete decided, okay, I'm not going to direct it myself, and it's going to be a Gollum story, I swear to God, there was no one else but Andy Serkis. So that's kind of them explaining why they decided to go the Gollum route, why they decided to go Andy Serkis's route. And I'm not entirely sold on this Gollum movie, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's not that I don't want more Lord of the Rings. I think bringing back Peter Jackson, bringing back Andy Serkis, bringing back all these people that worked on Lord of the Rings back in its heyday, I think is great. Like, honestly, that does get me excited to see more Lord of the Rings. When it comes to this movie being about Gollum, though, I kind of feel like, do I want that? Do I need that? Because I do like the Gollum character. Like many people, he's a very fun presence throughout the movies. But his story's kind of been told throughout the movies. We did see his beginnings in Return of the King. We saw him in The Hobbit. We followed him through the Lord of the Rings original trilogy. Do we need more context put to the Gollum character? Do we need a full movie centered around Gollum? To me personally, this doesn't feel like the right direction for me to get excited to see a new Lord of the Rings movie. Obviously, surface level, new Lord of the Rings movie, Peter Jackson coming back, Andy Serkis, I am excited. But at the same time, Andy Serkis hasn't impressed me that much as a director. I mean, I'm not going to say he's a terrible director. Of course he's not a terrible director. I think he's done some good stuff. But the last thing I saw Andy Serkis do was Venom Let There Be Carnage. And Venom Let There Be Carnage was fine. But there was nothing about it that really stuck out to me through its direction. So do I think that Andy Serkis is going to do terrible with Gollum? No, because he knows this character. He plays this character. The fact that he's going to be playing the character and directing, I think, is very ambitious and very bold of him to do. It's just a movie that feels more like a cash grab to me than it does creatively. And even their quote of saying, like, hey, people might be thinking we're lying, but we had no expectations of returning to this. I do believe that. I do believe that they had no expectations of returning to this, but David Zaslav, of course, is like, Lord of the Rings, that's a $1 billion franchise right there. Why aren't we utilizing that? Let's bring that back in. And you want to bring back the audience? Give them something familiar. That's the way to go. And Gollum is definitely not just familiar, he's probably the most recognizable character from Lord of the Rings. I think if I showed someone who had heard about Lord of the Rings, never watched it, and showed them a picture of Gollum, I think they'd know exactly who that is. I don't know if I could say the same about Frodo or Sam. So it's definitely recognizable. I just don't know creatively if this is the thing that's going to get me that excited to return. I mean, it's not like we don't know this character's story. It's not like we haven't seen what happened to him and what's going to happen to him. That's another thing, too. We know how this character ends. We saw Return of the King. We saw his demise. We saw how he died. That's not going to cause for any tension or really any stakes in this movie for me personally. So, am I excited for new Lord of the Rings? Yes, I'm very curious. But this particular project, am I excited about this particular project? I honestly have to say no. I'm honestly going to say I'm not that excited about a Gollum-centered movie. I'm definitely going to be there day one. I hope it looks fantastic. I hope the trailer is great. It'll probably get me hyped once we see something from this thing. But on surface level, just hearing about it right now, I can't say that I'm that excited about this. But what about you guys? What do you guys think of new Lord of the Rings coming in 2026? What do you think of the fact that Andy Serkis is not just directing, but starring as Gollum in a Gollum movie? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about that, guys. And without further ado, let's get to the last topic of the night. And the last topic of the night is going to be this, guys. Adam Sandler. He's a comedian that has been really funny in the past, has done some good stuff in the past. He's also a comedian who's kind of been tired out. He's kind of been played out, and his comedy may not be for everybody nowadays, and it definitely isn't for me a lot of the times. But one of, if not, my favorite Adam Sandler movie has got to be Happy Gilmore. I love Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore, I just put it on. It tickles my funny bone. I think it's hilarious. I think Adam Sandler is funny in it. I think the whole concept is ridiculous and ludicrous, but it works in the world that they set up, and the comedy itself, it just worked. It just worked, and it was back in the 90s, and it's one of Adam Sandler's best. Well, Adam Sandler, as we all know, has this new deal with Netflix. He's basically living over at Netflix. He never leaves Netflix. That's basically, if you want to find Adam Sandler, he's over at Netflix. Go say hi. So he's got a bunch of movies coming out on Netflix, and it's been rumored for a little bit that they were going to do a Happy Gilmore 2, and it looks like that is no longer rumored. It is official. This comes to us. This is coming to us. Where is it? Oh, where is it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Where is it? Where did it go? Oh, being live is so fun when things don't go right. All right, where did it go? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. It's gone. It's out of there. Can't find it. Okay. They're doing Happy Gilmore 2. They're doing Happy Gilmore 2. It's official. Netflix just greenlit it. It's announced. Adam Sandler's returning. They're doing Happy Gilmore 2. It's going to be on Netflix. So, with this being one of, if not my favorite Adam Sandler comedy, how do I feel about going back to Happy Gilmore and Happy Gilmore 2? Honestly, I just want them to leave it alone. I just want them to leave it alone. Yes, this is totally biased and based off of things that are outside of Happy Gilmore 2's control. But comedy sequels, taken 20, 30 years after the original, they've proven to not work out very well. Now, obviously, comedy is all subjective. All movies are subjective, especially comedies. But Joe Dirt 2, awful. Dumb and Dumber 2, not very good. Zoolander 2, awful. I love Dumb and Dumber 1. I love Zoolander. Those sequels did not really work for me. And when it comes to Happy Gilmore, it's just such a pure, it's such a movie of its time. It's such a movie of where Adam Sandler was at the time, and a moment in Adam Sandler's career and life that everything just kind of came together and worked for it. Do I think that Happy Gilmore 2 is going to be what cracks the code? Is going to be the Comedy Legacy sequel that finally figures it out? No, I really don't. I really don't have faith in Happy Gilmore 2. And it sucks to say that because I do think Adam Sandler has been funny in the past. And there's been stuff from Adam Sandler that I have enjoyed. I just haven't really enjoyed Adam Sandler recently. I mean, Hubie Halloween was awful. I didn't even finish Murder Mystery. I didn't like it that much. I mean, his drama stuff is where he's kind of thriving with like Uncut Gems and all that kind of stuff. But his comedy, it just hasn't really been firing and hitting for me lately. And this is one that I love so much that I hear this announcement of Happy Gilmore 2 and all I can think about is they're going to ruin it. They're going to ruin it. Now, look, that's not really fair of me to say because I haven't read the script. They haven't shot anything yet. They haven't made it. And Happy Gilmore is a funny concept. Obviously, I enjoy the movie. It's one of my favorite Adam Sandlers. So maybe lightning will strike twice. Maybe Adam Sandler will be able to capture the moment again for Happy Gilmore. It sucks that Carl Weathers can't come back. It sucks that he passed away before this. I'm sure Julie Bowens will come back. I'm sure Shooter McGavin will come back for sure. It might be fun to get the band back together for another round of golf, but to say I'm excited about this would be a lie. Would be a lie. If I had the choice of Netflix greenlighting a sequel and Netflix not doing a sequel, in fact, a sequel not happening at all, I would choose a sequel not happening at all. But that's not the world I live in. It's not my choice. It's their choice. They've decided to move forward with it. God bless you. I wish you all the best, but I'm worried. I am so worried. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Happy Gilmore 2? Adam Sandler's coming back to do it. Do you think that he'll be able to recapture the magic of Happy Gilmore? Do you like Happy Gilmore? Maybe you think it's crap. Maybe you don't like the movie at all. Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about that, guys. Sorry about the loss of card there. I had a quote. I lost the quote. You move on. You're live. It's live. If there was any questions of if we're live right now, there you go. We are live right now. And with that said, guys, let's just go back to your live comments and questions for the rest of the night. For however long you guys want to go for, we will go for. We actually got through those topics a lot faster than I thought we were going to. So I enjoyed that. It looks like we have a member on here. The Ace Avenue sending in a $2 super chat. Dude, thank you so much. That's so kind of you, man. Beloved channel member and friend. And such a supporter of this channel, man. I cannot thank you enough. He says, Bryce is wrong. Yes. Oh my goodness. What's the Price is Right guy's name? Bob something? That moment in Happy Gilmore cracks me up every time. I love that. Kenny Sparks is in here, and he is a Members Talk Live member. Dude, thank you so much for joining Members Talk Live. We had you on there a little bit before. If you're coming back into the fold, we're going to welcome you with open arms, dude. Thank you so much for supporting the channel with that, man. And I just want to let you know, I'm out of town this weekend. There won't be a Members Talk Live this Saturday. We'll be back the following Saturday. I just want to let you know because I announced that to the members last week. But appreciate the support, dude, and happy to have you back, man. Looking forward to chatting it up with you. Why did this suddenly stop working for me? There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're on fire. Right, here we go. Thank you guys again for the support with those on the level, man. Nathan's Random Movies, what's going on? Nathan says, which is worse, the Star Wars sequels or the Star Wars prequels? The age-old, well, what's becoming an age-old question. It's funny because I think everything on a technical level, the Star Wars sequels knocks the Star Wars prequels on their butt. I really do. I have watched the Star Wars prequels and I've gone back to watch Star Wars prequels. I mean, I just recently went back and watched Star Wars prequels because I'm showing my wife the Star Wars movies. And I will say, I looked forward to getting to Revenge of the Sith. I looked forward to getting into aspects of Attack of the Clones. I liked the pod race and everything on Tatooine with the Phantom Menace. I'm not really looking forward to going back to the sequels. I mean, I like Force Awakens. I kind of like Last Jedi. I lean more to liking Last Jedi than not liking Last Jedi, and I just don't like Rise of Skywalker. If you're asking me, the prequels are better, and I think the prequels are better because they're more unique. You can argue if the uniqueness is bad or good, definitely, but I think they're more unique. And I think that the sequel trilogy, story-wise, just fumbled it too much. And I think it had to do with the inconsistency. I think it had to do with a lack of plan. And I think that's what the prequels have over the sequels that make them more enjoyable of a watch for me, is the plan. And I enjoy a consistent story arc throughout a trilogy more than watching a trilogy and noticing that they have no idea what the heck they want to do with the thing. So personally, I'm going to go with the prequels. I enjoy watching the prequels more than the sequels, except for I still like Force Awakens. I think Force Awakens is a good movie. Trev's Movie says, take that off, Zach. That's not what Trev's Movie says, but that's what I just said. Trev's Movie says, Zach Attack, I know you sometimes go to the Monday mystery movies. Did you see the one for Spy X Family Code White out of curiosity? What the heck is that? Never heard of that. Gamer331 says, from me, I would watch Back to the Future, keep Jaws, and burn Jurassic Park. Also, disclaimer, Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time. Wow. Whoa. You would burn your favorite movie of all time? That is interesting to me, man. I would not expect you to choose that. By the way, I got to go down here really quickly once again because DJ's Family of Nerds just is a member for 9 months. Dude, thank you so much for being a member for that amount of time, for all that support and all that just love and support towards the channel. Dude, it means so much to me, dude, that you've been a member for that long. And you were also one of the very first members, so that also is very special to me. It says, hey man, sorry I haven't been as active. Things are crazy in life and gonna get more wild. Haven't told our families yet, but whoa, we're expecting November. Wow, dude, you haven't even told your family yet, but you're telling us? Man, that is crazy. Dude, congratulations. I hope your family doesn't watch, because they will be very upset to hear that we found out first. But that is awesome, DJ. Congratulations. Congratulations to you and the missus, and to your son, who's going to be getting a sibling, and is going to be an older brother. So that is amazing, dude. Congratulations. Honestly, congratulations, man. I think we can all understand how life is getting busier. The 8th Avenue also sent in a $5 super chat. Dude, thank you so much for that. Says, Sub Zach, been loving your Spider-Man rankings. Which Spider-Man is your favorite? Holland, Toby, or Andrew? Ooh, well, first of all, thank you so much for liking the rankings. I mean, you guys can probably tell at this point, I'm building up to doing a full Spider-Man ranking. I'm doing the Raimi trilogy. I did both Amazing Spider-Man movies. And next up, I'm going to be working on doing the Holland trilogy. And then, yes, we will be doing a full all the Spider-Man movies ranking, including Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. I haven't told anyone this yet, and I've been hesitant to say this because I've been trying to do it before I make it official. But I'll let you guys know I'm not officially announcing it. But because you guys are here when you're at the live show, when you guys are here with me live, you deserve a little bit more than the average viewer does. So I'll let you guys in on what I'm thinking of. I'm trying to get a weekly upload schedule going, and it. Like, going back to the whole time management thing and having things to watch and having to pick YouTube over watching things, this is one of the reasons why I've been watching so much less stuff, is because what I want to do is I want to do every Monday, well, as often as I can. Monday, you get the Members Talk Live recorded show. We shoot it on Saturday. So Saturday, I shoot the show with our members, our beloved channel members, fantastic people. And then the show goes up on Monday. I want Tuesday to be Ranking Tuesdays. So every Tuesday, I'm going to try and get a ranking video out of some director, of some TV show, of some movie. I want to get Tuesday to be a ranking video. Wednesday is, of course, the live show. After the live show on Thursdays, sometimes Wednesday night, but everyone mostly watches them on Thursday morning or during the week. Thursday is the clip outs from the live show. Friday's a movie. Saturday is like the review. So, and Saturday is also Members Talk Live. So I mean, I'm doing it because I love it, and I'm doing it because I'm fun. So I'm not looking for any pity or anything here at all. But I'm doing a lot of stuff on the channel right now, and I'm having a blast. I'm having so much fun. But yeah, that's kind of what I want you guys to start to expect from the channel. Not just yet. Let's see if I can keep up with it consistently. I'm really trying to do it consistently. But yeah, that's what I want to get to with this channel. Is I want to have like close to 5 days a week of content. And it's kind of ambitious for me, but that's what I'm hoping to do. So as far as asking which Spider-Man is my favorite, I'm actually thinking of doing a ranking video of the Spider-Mans. So I'll hold off on that just a little bit, but I will tell you, because you sent in a super chat with the question, at the moment, before I've rewatched his trilogy, Holland's my favorite. But we'll see how that's changed once I watch his trilogy again. All right, with that behind the scenes curtain pulled for you guys, let's go back up here. We've got Toxic Gamer 331 saying, I think Jaws is the most important. It was like the first blockbuster, so that's why I kept it. Fair enough. That's a fair point. Trez Movie says, I think the film introduction thing is usually only being done with Paramount Films because I also got them in front of Bob Marley and Mutant Mayhem. That's a good point. Was Fall Guy Paramount? I think you're right. I think Fall Guy... No, Fall Guy was Universal, wasn't it? Oh, shoot. I can't remember. But you might be right. You might be right about that. Trez Movie says he's only taken Zach's subscribers to the desert island. Only Zach gets to... Only Zach's. Only Zach's come. Zach Attack Review says, Trev, I haven't gone to the mystery movies this year because my work schedule. Yeah, work schedules, man. I get it. Zach Attack Reviews, I gotta pick the Zachs. Come on. I can't go to a desert island with just one Zach. I need all the Zachs. Maybe we bring along Zach Pope, but I don't think Zach Pope is subscribed. So, guys, go to Zach. Wouldn't that be hilarious? If you guys all went to Zach Pope's latest video and just commented, subscribe to Zach Milne Talks Movies, that'd be hilarious. I'm not asking you guys to do that. I'm just saying that'd be really funny if you just all went to Zach Pope and was like, subscribe to Zach Milne Talks Movies. But, you know, I don't think Zach Pope is subscribed, so automatically disqualified. He can't come. He can't be part of the Zach clan. Boohoo. Poor Zach Pope. Trev's Movie says Zach Attacks. I understand it doesn't help that they're every week or every other week. Oh, you're talking about the mystery movies. Zach Attack Reviews. What a meat fest that desert island would be. What a meat fest. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know how many female viewers I have. I've looked at my analytics, and my female viewership is quite low. I know CC Clemens. CC would be able to come. I'm pretty sure she's subscribed to my channel. I'm subscribed to hers for sure. But I feel kind of cruel bringing one girl along with all those guys. I feel like it would be awful for her. I don't think it'd be a great experience for her. So I don't want to do that to CC. Got Nathan Jenner Movie saying, how would you rank the April movies you saw? I would go Rebel Moon 2, The Greatest Hits, Monkey Man, Arcadian, The First Omen, Abigail, and Civil War. April movies. What did I see in April? I definitely... Abigail. I don't know why I can't say Abigail. I said Abigail in my review so many times, and I just left it in and thought it was hilarious. Abigail is definitely my top. Rebel Moon Part 2 is definitely my bottom. I'd probably go Abigail, Monkey Man, Civil War, and then Rebel Moon Part 2. And I can't remember if there's anything else I saw in April. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head what I saw. Let's see here. Pure Hangout. What's going on, Pure Hangout? It's been a minute since you've been in here. Awesome to see you in here, my friend. Welcome back. Guys, check out Pure Hangout, by the way. Awesome channel. Great guy. It says Spider-Man Noir could be good. Yep, could be. Could be crap, too. We'll have to wait and see. Toxic Gamer 331 says Jurassic and Back to the Future was really tough, but why I burned Jurassic was because I don't rewatch it as much as Back to the Future, and I don't get as much nostalgia as I do for Back to the Future. Fair enough. Very fair points. Zach Attack Review says Spider-Man Noir going to be PG-13. That's a mistake. I disagree with you. And also, it's not confirmed that it'll be PG-13, at least not that I've seen, so that's just my assumption. So don't take that as word. I don't think it's been announced what it's going to be. I don't think it's a mistake to do a PG-13, though. I don't think that this is something that has to be dark and gritty and violent. And like, yeah, it could be cool, and obviously it's a noir, so I guess it's going to be dark. But I don't know. I don't see the business Sony making a spin-off of their family-friendly product into an R-rated TV show. I would be shocked if they did that. And I don't think it's a mistake if they don't do that. I think that you want to get as much eyes on it as you can. Nicolas Cage is a great get to have in the first place. That's going to get eyes on it for sure. But, you know, the kids that watch Spider-Verse, they're going to want to watch the show. I disagree that it's a mistake. I think it's the way to go for this particular project. Nathan Jordan Movie says, my most anticipated shows of the year are The Penguin. I cannot wait for The Penguin. The Boys Season 4. Sorry I haven't never watched Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. Maybe someday. Fantasy just isn't my genre. Fair enough, man. I haven't seen that either. I haven't even seen I've started watching The Boys, but you guys are going to think I'm crazy. It just wasn't really for me. But The Penguin... The Penguin show is something I'm very anticipating. Brandon Hornsby says, it was originally reported that Spider-Man Noir will not be Peter Parker, but a new character, but who knows? Was it Peter Parker? I can't remember if it was Peter Parker now in the movie. It probably was, since you're saying that. Interesting. I wonder if they would keep it Peter Parker. That's curious. Toxic with 51 says, because Jurassic felt like its special effects were made today. I mean... Jurassic does have great special effects. Do they feel like they were made today? Slightly no, but they still hold up incredibly well. Zack Attack Reviews says Nicolas Cage being called Peter Parker going to be weird. You know, that's the thing, is that if it's a spin-off from Into the Spider-Verse and it's the same character, because I'm assuming if you got Nicolas Cage voicing the character and you have him playing the character, they want it to be connected to the movies. They want it to be the same character. If his name's Peter Parker in the movie, he has to be Peter Parker in the show, right? Unless you want to do something where it's another multiverse and it's not the same Spider-Man Noir, which I think that would be a mistake. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Trev's Movie says, Zach, if you're wondering what Sharpay's doing nowadays, Baby Shark's big movie. Trust me, I should know. Did a video on it. It was hard to sit through, but hey, the video is doing good. Hey, well, congratulations, man. Baby Shark's big movie? Ashley Tisdale is in Baby Shark's big movie? Baby Shark has a movie? What the heck? Like the song Baby Shark do like that song has a movie? I'm gonna have to check out your video now, man. You got me curious. I'm very surprised to hear this. Toss Gamer 331 says, you ever watch The 13th Year? That's another Disney Channel movie where a kid, turn it into a mermaid. Man, I loved the 13th Year. That one was a little bit before my time, but I caught it on like a rewatch, on a rerun. And I thought it was really cool. It kind of reminded me of a Spider-Man story, I think, as a kid. So that's probably why I gravitated towards it a little bit more. But yeah, that was an awesome Disney Channel movie. That's an underrated Disney Channel movie. Great pick, man. Zack Attack Reviews says Nicolas Cage in a horror movie called Long Legs. That looks creepy. Oh, okay. I saw that you posted a trailer reaction to that today. I didn't watch it. I haven't even watched the trailer. So interesting. Nathan John Movie says War is my favorite personally and has jumped up to my top 3 of all time, but really all of them are awesome. That's really cool, man. That's great. War is in your top 3 of all time. I love that those movies, they're kind of like, I don't want to say Star Wars for the younger or the new generation, but they're definitely like sci-fi movies that I feel like I'll be passing down to my kids and so on and so forth. I feel like the rebooted Planet of the Apes is ours. You know, like Star Wars is before my time. Star Trek's before my time. Technically, Planet of the Apes is before my time, too. But there's something about this that feels so removed from the original movies that it feels like its own thing, and it feels like our own thing, that I think it's cool. And I love that they're inspiring young filmmakers and young movie lovers like you guys to the point that they're in like your top of all time. That's amazing. Toxic Gamer 331 says, what are some movies, Zach, that you think are guaranteed to be amazing this year, and what are ones you think are guaranteed to be awful? I want to say Deadpool and Wolverine is guaranteed to be amazing, but it also could go wrong many, many ways. So I will say it for now, though. I will say that Deadpool and Wolverine, I think, is guaranteed to be awesome. I think Furiosa is going to be awesome. I know some people are looking at that trailer and looking at it and being like, I don't know, but I think it's going to be great. I think the trailers have been great. I think the cast is great. Chris Hemsworth looks great. I think Furiosa is going to be awesome. I think Beetlejuice is not guaranteed to be amazing, but has a lot of potential. I think Kraven the Hunter is guaranteed to be awful. I will be very surprised. I will eat this piece of tissue if I give Kraven the Hunter a strong recommend once I see it. If you guys right now, I'm saying this on the air, it's official. There's no going back from this. If come December, because I think that's when it's supposed to come out now, it got moved. If come December, Kraven the Hunter, if I go and watch that movie in theaters and I come back and I do my review, and if out of this mouth, if the words I strongly recommend Kraven the Hunter, immediately following those words, this is going down my throat. I'm eating this whole thing because I guarantee Kraven the Hunter is going to be awful. I think the franchise has consistently delivered awful. So I have no hope in Kraven the Hunter. I think that is the one that is probably guaranteed to be awful. And Toxic Gamer 331 says, I saw Dawn of the Planet of the Apes in theaters when it came out, I think. I honestly have memory of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes in theaters, but I can't remember if I actually saw it in theaters, if that's weird. I feel like I did, but I can't remember if I did. I know for sure I saw War. I can't remember if I saw Dawn, though. Which I feel like Dawn would be so memorable in theaters, so I probably ended up not seeing it in theaters. By the way, I also want to say, I am rooting for Kraven the Hunter. I hope it's good. I'm not going to go in expecting it to be horrible, but I'm pretty sure it will be. But I'll give it a chance. Toxic Gamer 331 says, I know I saw War in theaters. Yeah, I definitely saw War in theaters too. Toxic Gamer 331 says, have you seen the other Chucky movies you haven't seen yet or the TV series? I have not. I've only seen the first 3 Child Play movies. Angie Review says, hey there, here lurking while I do some dishes. Well, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for being here, Angie, and very honored to have you here and be a part of your multitask as you do dishes. You know, it's kind of cool because when I do the dishes, I listen to like John Campea and Christian Harloff, and I listen to some like Sean Chandler, and I listen to 3C Films. I know I take a long time to do the dishes, but it's kind of cool, like just to sit here and be like, I listen to those guys, and now I'm being listened to as someone else is doing the dishes. I think that's kind of cool, and I'm honored, and I appreciate being a part of it, man. Thank you so much. Nathan Dread Movie says, who is a character in a movie or show that is horribly miscast? Ooh, a character in a movie or a show that is horribly miscast. Oh, man, that is tricky. I mean, Keanu Reeves and Bram Stoker's Dracula. I've never seen the full movie. I've only seen the Keanu Reeves clips. And, yeah, he does not work in that movie. He's pretty bad in that movie. As far as that goes, yeah, maybe Jesse Eisenberg in Batman vs. Superman is a little bit miscast. But I also think he could have been good if he had just had a different direction. I feel the same way with Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face in Batman Forever. I think Tommy Lee Jones is very miscast, at least the way that he decided to perform as Two-Face in Batman Forever. But if it was a different movie, if it was a different direction, if he could have played it differently, he probably could have been good. But yeah, I think he was probably miscast. Zack Attack Reviews says, are you more excited for Ballerina or Donnie Yen's John Wick spinoff? I gotta go Donnie Yen. I'm very curious about Ballerina. I think it'll be really interesting, but I mean, it has the benefit of I've already gotten to see Donnie Yen in action, and I've gotten to see this character already, whereas I don't really know Ana de Armas's character. And in John Wick Chapter 3, the Ballerina stuff, I wasn't like that enthralled into, to be honest with you. I much like the high table stuff and all that going on, but yeah, Donnie Yen, that one has my attention more. Dragon Movie Guy, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us, my friend. Just did a collab with this guy. As I mentioned before, we covered some June movies coming out. It was a ton of fun. Was so honored and humbled to be a part of it, man. Thank you so much for the invite, and thank you for being here with us tonight. Saying, love the live stream, Zach. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate the kind words there. Tox Gamer 331 says, do you think John Wick should have been killed off in John Wick Chapter 4, or do you think it was satisfying with what they did with his death? Oh, shouldn't have been killed off. I think he should have been. I was satisfied with it. I thought it was a beautiful end. It was a character that was constantly looking for peace, and in the end, he found his freedom, and in his freedom, he died peacefully. I liked it. I liked the way they handled it. I'm not very happy that they're going to undo that in John Wick Chapter 5, but I liked how they ended it in 4. Collector Movie Man says Gary Oldman is in the second one. Yeah, he's in Dawn. Is Gary Oldman the villain in Dawn? I guess he kind of is. I never really viewed him as a villain, but I guess he kind of is. Talks Gamer 331 says, I'm not quite sure what we're referring to. Dragon Movie Guy, Nick Cage doing a Sony Marvel streaming series with no Sony streaming service to play on. LOL, that Noir series ain't gonna happen. Oh, you don't think it's gonna happen? You know, that's interesting because I would say that I disagree, but they did announce like months ago that we were supposed to get a live action Silk series coming from Sony and Amazon, and we haven't seen anything from that. We haven't heard anything from that. So this may not happen. You know what? I wouldn't say that you're crazy for saying that. I personally think it's going to happen. I think that this has more behind it than Silk did. But yeah, I think there's some merit to believing it won't. Zack Attack Reviews says, yeah, if bringing families in and the strangers bringing in horror can hurt Kingdom a lot. I mean, I definitely think If is going to have a pretty... well, it's interesting because I don't think If has had the greatest marketing campaign, and I don't think many people are talking about it, but the first reactions have been really good. I think it's going to have really good word of mouth, and I think there's going to be a lot of families that go to it and are endeared by it. And you know what I think? I think it'll have Wonka legs. You know how like Wonka was kind of like Timothée Chalamet was a big star, but Wonka wasn't really like well, I mean, some people were really anticipating it, but I don't think the general audiences were very aware of Wonka. And then Wonka just charmed the socks off of every audience member who saw it. I loved Wonka. And so and that just had legs, and it ended up getting to like 600 million. I think If will have the Wonka legs, if it's as endearing and charming as some of the first reactions are saying. And yeah, I do think Kingdom is going to take a hit from that. I really do. Nathan John Movie says, I'm not sure if a Gollum movie sounds very good on its own, especially since Andy Serkis directed Venom 2. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you echo my thoughts entirely, man. Collector Movie Man says, I'm just very grateful that they are not rebooting the Lord of the Rings movies. I would have been so mad. I totally would have boycotted it. Yeah, I don't think they'll do that for many, 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 many more years. For sure. I don't think they're going to reboot or remake them at all. Trev's Movie says, I saw the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings trilogy on a RPX screen a few years ago. I'm not quite sure what an RPX screen is. Never again. They're way too freaking long, and my butt hurt every single one of them. That's funny. Yeah, I watched I've only actually ever seen the Lord of the Rings extended cuts. I've only ever seen Lord of the Rings all the way through one time, every single movie, and I binge watched them all in like one weekend, and they were all the extended cuts. So, yeah, they are long. They are freaking long. Zack Attack Reviews says Serkis doesn't have a great track record with directing, but we'll see what he does with doing so much. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too with Andy Serkis directing. I mean, he'll know how to do the motion capture very well. He definitely will, but I don't know. As a director, I don't know. Zack Attack Reviews says Gollum is my favorite character so far in this franchise, so I'll take more Gollum. Dude, I can't wait for you to get to Return of the King. You gotta watch Return of the King. Please watch Return of the King. That's like my most anticipated video of yours, is your thoughts on Return of the King. It's been so long. Please, dude, watch it. Also, I kind of spoiled it for you. Sorry about that. Toxic331 says, I'm going to head out now. Great stream as always, man, from a great guy. Wish you all the success on YouTube. And also, everyone have a nice rest of your day or night. And always remember pizza. Yes. Thank you so much, Toxic Gamer. Thank you for being here. The show was made better because you were a part of it, my friend. And I appreciate you, dude. Have a great night. Trev's Movie says, give Gollum his own Venom song. Gollum, 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 Gollum. Never, never now what hit him. Never know what hit him. Oh my goodness, a Gollum song. Collector Movie Man says, the one thing I wish they would do into a movie that is based off a book J.R.R. Tolkien is the Silmarillion. It's a book based on the elves, but the only thing the book is written is the book is written in complete elvish language. Holy crap, that's ambitious for him to write and for people to actually learn to read. Dragon Movie Guy says Gollum series has me more meh than good or bad. yes, I like that. A little callback to his live stream there that we did. Go check it out. I agree with you, man. I think the good is that the motion capture has increased. I think Gollum's gonna look great. Andy Serkis is back as Gollum. We got Peter Jackson. You've got everyone from the previous movies that were great coming back to help this movie hopefully be great. That's a good. I think the bad is the fact that we already know this character's story. Is there a lot of intrigue there? Because for me personally, there really isn't that much intrigue to a Gollum story for me. I think it'll be entertaining, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm very met on it as well. Trev's movie says Adam Sandler was great in Happy Gilmore, but Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin made that movie. Yeah, he's got to come back. I'm pretty sure he's going to come back because I'm pretty sure he was kind of spilling the rumors about it. Adam Sandler talked to him about it already. So I'm pretty sure Shooter McGavin is going to be back. And look, I'm not looking forward to Happy Gilmore 2 very much. I just don't have faith in it. I don't think it's going to be great. I am looking forward to seeing more Shooter McGavin, though. I think that's going to be pretty fun. Collective Movie Man says the book, it's about a bunch of different characters from the elves. I think it'd be cool to explore some more of those different realms in the Lord of the Rings with the elves. That'd be fun. Zach Attack Review says, I love Happy Gilmore, but his Netflix comedies are not great. His serious stuff is better. I completely agree, and that's one of the reasons I am so very worried about Happy Gilmore 2. Trev's Movie says Adam Sandler's Leo was an enjoyable movie and has a great message. I never got around to watching that one. Almost did. Almost watched it with the family, and then the family decided to back out last minute. Kenny Sparks, once again, thank you so much for being here, Ken. A beloved channel member, a beloved friend. Thank you so much. Just stopping by to say hi. Gonna run and watch X-Men 97 with the wife. Have a great stream, y'all. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Kenny. Thank you so much for joining the Members Talk Live tier. And the show is made better because you were a part of it, my friend, and I appreciate you, dude. You have a good night. You enjoy X-Men 97. Collective Movie Man says Adam Sandler is not one of my favorite comedians. He's not one of my favorites either. I think he's had some hits in the past, but his stuff nowadays just doesn't really work for me, except for his drama stuff, like he was mentioning, like Zach was mentioning. Trev's Movie says plus Bill Burr, the funniest comedian, was also in Leo, which is already 10 points for me. Ooh, I didn't know that Bill Burr was in it. I love Bill Burr, so that instantly makes me more interested in watching Leo. Zach Attack Review says there are great comedy sequels, but I don't know if they can pull it off. I think there are great comedy sequels, but I'm talking about sequels that were done like 20 or 30 years after the original came out. Because, like, Zombieland's a sequel that came out, I think, 10 years after the original that I would say did work. I think Zombieland 2 Double Tap was actually pretty funny and actually did live up to the first film for me. But when I'm thinking of other comedy sequels that came so late after, it's hard for me to pick ones that I think actually worked. Dragon Movie Guy once again saying, you're kidding us, right? Anchorman 2, Zoolander 2, Dumb and Dumberer, long-term comedy sequel, always great. I mean, Dumb and Dumberer was a prequel. I guess it kind of counts. I never did see that one because I heard it was awful, and it didn't have Jim Carrey or Jeff Daniels, so I didn't care. Anchorman 2, I didn't think was that good. I'm sure I think you're being sarcastic because I'd be very surprised to hear that you enjoyed Zoolander 2. I'm not saying you can't enjoy Zoolander 2. I just, I don't. So I think you're being sarcastic. But, yeah, Anchorman 2 is another one that I kind of missed. I don't think that one worked very well either. But speaking of films being subjective, we got Trev's Movies. He loves Anchorman 2. Dobby the Shark. F yeah. I mean, okay, the shark bit did have me laughing quite a bit. The shark bit was kind of funny. I will give you that. Sully Streams, what's going on? Sully, thanks for joining us, my friend. Says, what's up, Zach? What's a franchise you actually think deserves to get rebooted? Deserves to get rebooted. That is an interesting question. I'd like them to take another shot at RoboCop, to be honest. I think they could have done better than the 2014 movie. I'd like another shot at RoboCop. I'm trying to think of franchises that had potential, but maybe started off on a poor note, but could have been great. That's a good question. Franchises that deserve to get rebooted. Yeah, man, that's tricky. I can only think of like Nightmare on Elm Street would be cool to do again nowadays. I know they already did that 2010 version, but if you did a reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street, that'd be kind of cool. I think there's more you could explore with that kind of world. I'm having trouble thinking of other ones though. I'm having trouble. I think we're getting to the point of the show where I'm getting it's getting late, and I think my brain's getting a little less energy to it. So I think I'm having a little more trouble with that one. But I appreciate the question, Sully, and I appreciate you being here. And I'm sorry I couldn't deliver on more of that on that question. Nathan John Movie says, "Is War for the Apes a war movie?" In some ways. I don't think it's like a typical war movie, but I think it's a war within the characters and within Caesar. Yeah, I think it's a war movie. Nathan Van Movie says, do the SSU movies count as Spider-Man movies? Not in my mind. Nope. Not in my mind. Get them out of there. Don't want them. They're Spider-Man adjacent movies. I would call I think I would put, if I was going to do a ranking of the Iron Man movies, I wouldn't include Homecoming. Iron Man's in it, but it's not an Iron Man movie. I think Venom is associated with Spider-Man, but it's not a Spider-Man movie. Madam Web's associated, not a Spider-Man movie. Morbius, not. I don't like Venom. At least has a little bit of like teasing of references to Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and Madam Web has references and teases to Peter Parker. Morbius doesn't really, and so I'm going to. In my mind, they're not associated. They're not Spider-Man movies. If I'm ranking the Spider-Man movies, I'm not including the SSU. Maybe one day I will, but not right now. Trev's Movie says I'm going to do a review for the 20th anniversary of South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and I'm also excited to be doing it because it's one of my top 2 favorite movies of all time. Nice, man. I was not allowed to watch South Park when I was growing up, so I never got into South Park, so I've never seen it, and I really haven't seen any of South Park, so that's awesome, man. I'm glad that you enjoy it. I'll have to check it out one day, maybe. Collective Movie Man says, Zach, I have a question for you. Should I do a ranking of all the seasons of Game of Thrones? I could possibly do it off the top of my head, but I'm not sure. Yeah, man, do it. I always say to people who ask if they should do something, I'm like, if you have an idea, do it. You never know what's going to take off on YouTube. You never know what might click. You never know what might just be hitting at the right moment. There's been many times with my channel where I've had a thought of a video, and then I've just been like, I'll do it. And I did it, and it did way better than I thought I was going to do. There's one video on my channel that I did on Zach Milne Talks Live, I think it was last year, where the news cycle was kind of low. It was kind of slow. There wasn't really much happening, but there was this story going around of The Grinch 2 was rumored to be happening with Jim Carrey returning, which I had no faith in the story. I had no faith in the source, and I knew for a fact basically that it was bullcrap. So I put it as a topic, and then last minute I was like, do I take this topic off because it's just kind of a rumor that has no merit? And then I was like, you know what? I'll just attack this topic as it has no merit. I'll make it clear that I think it has no merit, and I'll just explain why I think it has no merit. And that clip that I almost cut out of the show, that I almost didn't do at all, that ended up being one of the biggest hits on my channel. It has like 52,000 views, just that video alone on that story. So I just... Whenever people ask me, I have this idea, do you think I should do it? I'm like, yeah, do it. What's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen, dude, is that no one views it. In that case, as long as you make a video that you're proud of, that you enjoyed making, you didn't really lose anything. But if you make this video and it ends up just hitting and doing really well, and like House of the Dragon's in the conversation, and so the algorithm is throwing out Game of Thrones content to people, and this one just skyrockets in views, you'll be very happy that you made the video. So if you have an idea, my advice is to do it. Nathan Johnny Movies says, rankings take long to edit, but I love doing it. In fact, I'm editing my April movies ranking right now. Will you do a Mad Max ranking with Furiosa? I thought about it, but I didn't plan it in time. If I was going to do it, it would be quite a bit after the movie, which I'm not opposed to. I don't think I need to get it out weekend of release for Furiosa. It's just a matter of if I'm going to get around to watching all the Mad Max movies and then ranking them all with Furiosa. We'll see. We'll see if I find the time. But at the moment, no plans. Okay. I just... Your wife is subbed. Oh, yeah. She is. You're right. And the funny thing is she didn't even enter my mind. I wasn't thinking in those terms, but you're right. My wife is subbed. I should probably bring her. I'll bring her. Sorry, Cece, you're out. I gotta bring my wife. Galactic Movie Man says, Zach, if you knew the world was about to end, what 10 movies would you watch before the world ended? Oh man, that's sad. I gotta watch Spider-Man 2002. I gotta watch probably No Way Home, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, Jurassic Park, Jaws, Back to the Future. I'd probably watch Empire Strikes Back. I'd probably watch Did I already say Jaws? I think I already said Jaws. Probably watch one or two more that I would watch. Baby Driver. And Baby Driver, that's an interesting one. That one just popped into my mind. And Dumb and Dumber, because I want to end it on some laughs. As the world is imploding or the meteor is crashing or whatever's happening to our planet that's making it end, I would want to sit there and laugh as Dumb and Dumber played, and then I died. Sounds like a good way to go out. I enjoyed that. Let's see here. Yes, my wife is subbed. That was very clever, and that's probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite comment of the night. The Ace Avenue gifted a Zach Milne Talks Movies membership. Collector Movie Man was gifted. Dude, thank you so much. That's so generous of you to do that. And Collector Movie Man, welcome, beloved channel member. Happy to have you aboard. Zach Attack Review says Abba Girl. Yeah, I kept saying Abba Girl. And you know what? I thought it was funny. Travis Movie says, I think all of our female audiences are low. I mean, I haven't seen all of you guys' or any of you guys' analytics, but I think the assumption is that male audiences for the movie community tend to draw male audiences for those videos. So, yeah, I would imagine the viewership for females is kind of low for all of us. But hey, who knows? Maybe you know what? I bet a lot of females watch Zack Attack. Because I think he just has, you know what it is? It's the hair. He's just got that thing going on that I think it's impossible. I think it draws the females in. I don't think it's possible for. I bet his viewership is 99% female. Collective Movie Man says, I think I'm a member now. Yeah, you're a member, man. Congratulations. Zack Attack Review says, what? You turned off the board? What turned you off from The Boys? Just had some content in it that I wasn't comfortable consuming as a Christian and as a married man, and just I thought that it had some interesting concepts, and I only watched 2 episodes or 3 episodes, something like that. But there was enough in it that I kind of knew what they were willing to put on screen, and I wasn't willing to risk consuming that. It's also the reason why I only watched the first 2 episodes of Peacemaker, and then I was out. And I think after that, people said that it got less sexual and less gross, but I didn't finish Peacemaker either for that reason. So yeah, that it's nothing with the story or the characters or the filmmaking of The Boys turned me off. It was just personal morals and convictions. Trev's Movies says, Zach, do you know how to get invites to press screenings and whatnot? No, I do not. But could you tell me? Could you tell me how to do that? You know what? Even if that was available to me, I couldn't use it anyways because I'm sure there's no press screenings happening in my area. I would have to probably drive to Vancouver to do that, which would be like 3 or 4 hours from where I'm at. So, yeah. If you find out, let me know, because I'm open to it. You know what? I will. If they need people to fill the seats, I'm willing to come to press screenings. I'm just putting that out there. Zack Attack Review says 13th Year is underrated. Completely agree. Zack Attack Review says Caesar Trilogy is quietly a lot of people's favorite films. Yeah, I think the rebooted Planet of the Apes trilogy. Kind of going back to a question we had last week where they asked if it was underrated. A couple years back, I would have said yes. I think that it was underrated at a time, but I feel like many people have grown up with it and have discovered it now that it's kind of becoming more popular within the fandom and the film community to the point that I don't think it's underrated anymore. And I think that just happened over time. And I think it's a testament to how great they are. Zack Attack Review says, I'm praying for Craven to be awesome now. Yeah, we'll see. Jason Entertainment says, hey, Zach, how's it going tonight? Hey, Jason, I'm doing well. How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us. It says, let's pray for Craven now. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it happens, man. Jason Entertainment says, to be honest, I hope it won't suck because, man, talk about just giving bad movies from Sony's Spider-Man universe. Dude, their brand is so damaged right now. Excuse me. Their brand is so damaged right now that they as much as I don't want to eat a piece of tissue, they need a hit. They need something to turn around. They need if Craven doesn't hit, if Craven is another Morbius, God help us if Craven is another Madam Web, I think their universe is dead. I really do. I mean, I think it's a thing with look at the DCEU. I mean, if you ask me, the DCEU's quality was way better than the Sony Venomverse quality is. And when did people start? I mean, you had Man of Steel, you had Batman vs Superman, you had Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, you had Justice League might have been after Suicide. Yeah, 5 films. So you had Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Justice League, and I think Justice League. I mean, Aquaman is kind of the anomaly because Aquaman made $1 billion and just kind of like did really well. But after Justice League, I think that's when you saw the audience jump off, and that was 5 films. Now we're getting up there. We're at Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Madam Web, Morbius. I think Venom 3 is next, so that's gonna be the 5th film, and then we've got Craven. Yeah, they've got to turn it around, man. They've got to turn it around because I don't think the audience is going to be forgiven for very long. And some could argue I think the audience is already done with them. So they need Craven to work. They desperately need Venom 3 to work. They need a hit. I think they are very much on the verge of being a dead universe within the next couple years if these movies don't work. Dragon Movie Guy says horribly miscast actors and characters. Tom Cruise as Lestat or any character over 5'2". Restore that half apple cut. What on earth are we talking about? I honestly, this is all lost on me, dude. I have no idea what we're referring to, but it sounds hilarious. Zack Attack Review says Joaquin Phoenix. Oh, whoops. Joaquin Phoenix was miscast in Napoleon. I disagree. I don't think he was miscast. I just think the movie was horrible. But I think he fit well in Napoleon. He just, sorry, one sec. Getting to the point where I'm almost like getting a cold. I think that the movie was just awful, and I think Joaquin Phoenix could have been great because I think he had the right look. It was just all the direction for me. Trev's Movie says Craven the Hunter is now has to be my favorite movie of the year so far, even though I haven't seen it. Screw Boy Kills World. Eat the tissue. Oh, that's going to become the thing, huh? Hashtag eat the tissue is going to become our thing. We'll see, man. Come December, we'll see. But I'm telling you, I think it's going to be awful. Zack Attack Reviews says Sony announced Silk, Noir, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn, but there haven't been any updates since then. Interesting. Do you think the strikes though could have had a thing to play with that though? Do you think the strikes could have slowed some things down and they haven't just ramped up yet? But that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Silk, Noir, God of War, and we haven't gotten any updates yet. Find My Film, what's going on? Thanks for joining us, dude. It says, I recently watched a few old classic films like Rear Window. I love Rear Window, dude. Rear Window is so good. If you're getting into Alfred Hitchcock and you're watching Rear Window, definitely check out Psycho, check out Strangers on a Train, check out North by Northwest, check out Rope. I think Rope is really underrated of his. I think it's a really great movie. The 39 Steps is way older, but is really good. Yeah, if you're getting into Alfred Hitchcock, dude, I definitely recommend checking those out. Because Rear Window is awesome. Zack Attack Reviews says RPX is a type of premium stream. Ah, okay. Okay, thank you for letting me know that, man. Jason Entertainment says, what's your favorite April movie release, by the way? Challengers, Boy Kills World, Abigail, Monkey Man, Civil War, The First Omen. Well, I missed quite a bit of those, but Abigail's my favorite that I got to see. Zack Attack Review says Anchorman 2 was the worst movie I've watched in theaters. Ooh, ouch. Hey, you know what? That is saying something because you saw Madam Web in theaters and you saw, I know for a fact you saw Madam Web in theaters. Trev's Movie says Zack Attacks, go see Not Another Church Movie and it'll change your mind. Zack Attack Review says, I think with the advancements of AI, I think Terminator reboot could be great in the right hands. I'm hesitant on a Terminator reboot only because Terminator's been done to death. And people would disagree, but I do think a big reason why Terminator worked is Arnold. And I think you do lose something without Arnold. And I think Terminator Salvation kind of showed that a little bit, that you do lose something without Arnold in the Terminator movie. It's not that they can't do it, but I do think that Arnold is a bigger factor as to why those movies work than some people give it credit for. Like if you were to reboot the Terminator franchise right now, who do you do as the Terminator, right? Like The Rock, I don't see The Rock doing well with Terminator. You need like a big imposing guy, right? And who is that? John Cena? Maybe, but I don't know. I just I don't know where Terminator. It's funny because I'm looking at a Terminator poster as I talk about Terminator. That's really funny. I don't know if Terminator will work without Arnold. I really don't. And it'll be interesting to see down the line who they can get to do it. But I can't think. Who would you guys? I'm throwing it to the chat. Who do you guys think would be a good replacement for Arnold Schwarzenegger as the T-100? Who do you think should be a Terminator if they were to reboot the series? Trev's movie says, Zack Attacks, I'm sorry, don't go see it. I don't know why I said that. Zach, I'm definitely not going to see that movie. Brandon Hornsby said he loved Anchorman 2. All right, man, fair enough. Hey, like I said, it's all subjective, especially comedy, so I'm glad it worked for you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. The Laser, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us, Laser. Good to see you in here. He says, I'm here and late because my Wi-Fi, dude, don't worry about it, man. You don't have to worry. Look, you don't have to apologize for being late or showing up whenever you show up. I'm just thankful that you showed up at all. I'm just thankful that you decided to join us at all, because you could be doing anything else right now. You could be doing anything that you wanted to right now, and instead you've chosen to join us to talk about some movies and have some fun in the chat. I appreciate you so much, dude, and welcome. All you have to say is, I'm here, you're welcome, and I will say thank you very much. Zack Attack Review says, the Laser is here, the horniest person on YouTube. Hope you're having a great day. I'm a teenager, cut me some slack. Oh my goodness, that's funny. That's funny. The Laser saying, how are you doing, Zach? He's talking to Zack Attack Reviews, but I'll also say I'm doing well. Zack Attack's doing great now because Zach's reaction just now to his wife being so was the funniest thing this week. Yeah, that was one of the funniest comments of the day, dude. So I appreciate that. I thought you said his wife was snubbed. She kind of was, if you think about it. Zack Attack Review says 66 male, 33 female, the rest binary for my audience. All right. That's pretty. 33 female. That's pretty good, man. Like I said, I haven't really checked. I'd have to check my analytics again, but 33 female, that's pretty good. Trev's Movie says, no, I don't know how to get invited to press screenings unless you want to count Monday mystery movies. If it was out of town, I'd drive my happy butt there immediately. Yes, even for Madam Web. Me too, man. I'd be there. The Laser, it's Craven time. We'll see. December. Trev's Movies, thoughts on the Wicked trailer. I did a reaction, ripped on the trailer and a video, and I made Glinda. What? Glinda? Is that her name? Glinda? Out to be a racist as a joke. Well, I'll have to check out your trailer reaction, but I haven't seen the trailer for Wicked. The first trailer they dropped, I wasn't impressed by. I thought it was overly lit and looked kind of bad. I haven't seen the new trailer yet, and I think there's a lot of promise to it, but I'm not that excited for Wicked. Zack Attack Review says, I think it helps that casual audiences don't know these movies are connected. Yeah, that's true. I assume we're talking about Planet of the Apes, not connected to the original franchise. I think is what you're referring to. I might be wrong there. Or the Spider. I can't. Now I'm confused. I've confused myself. Brandon Horsby says the audience loves Venom. The previous two Venom films were hits. Everything else in the SSU were flops. Safe to say Venom 3 will be a hit. Is it safe to say? Does the audience love Venom? I think that Venom 1 definitely had the name behind it and Tom Hardy behind it and did very, very well. It was COVID times. You can't take that away. But Venom Let There Be Carnage was a significant drop from the first film, both in box office and audience reception. So, like I said, it's an anomaly. There was COVID. There was a bunch of stuff that kept it from reaching its potential. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what Venom 3 does. We'll have to see if audiences have been enjoying Venom or if they've had enough of Venom, and Venom 3 will tell. I do think, though, of the movies, Venom will do much better than Kraven the Hunter. I think Venom 3 will do much better than Kraven the Hunter, and I think Venom 3 will do much better than Madam Web. Trev's Movie says, I also do a trailer riffs because I think it brings something new to the table for trailer reactions. I personally enjoy when people riff on a trailer. I think it's kind of fun. I personally can't do it. I can barely speak during my trailer reactions, trying to keep up with all the flashing images. But I respect those who have the art to do that. Dragon Movie, or the skill, sorry. Dragon Movie Guy says, Aaron Taylor Johnson goes from Quicksilver in MCU to Craven and Sony and Marvel. Let's bring Kick-Ass into the MCU. Yes, Kick-Ass in the MCU. That's the real Kick-Ass cinematic universe we need. Yep, Aaron Taylor Johnson was Quicksilver, and then he was Craven. Yeah, he's played a couple Marvel characters. Zach Attack, hashtag eat the tissue. Oh, man, is that going to become a thing till December? That's really funny. I'm serious. I'll do it. I'll do it. If I end up saying that I strongly recommend Craven the Hunter, I will eat it. I will eat this tissue. Right down the throat. Collective Movie Man says, yeah, no Terminator reboot. Arnold is the iconic Terminator. No one could ever replace him as Terminator. I'm not necessarily saying that no one could replace him. I just have trouble finding someone who could. I just have trouble finding that person that like has what Arnold had. Like Dave Bautista? No, probably not. The closest one that comes into my mind is John Cena, and even that one I don't like. And that's the closest one I can think of. But if you guys can think of ones, please let me know. Conor McGregor from Roadhouse? I don't see it, but let's see here. We got average viewer film. Sorry, what's going on, dude? Been a while since you've been in here. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you in here. He says, considering that they are making a Terminator anime, yeah, I would say the franchise is on its last legs. Ooh, is that a dig at anime? I saw images from the Terminator anime. I thought it looked kind of cool. I probably won't end up watching it, but I thought it looked kind of cool. We'll see. But even the Terminator is designed after Arnold in the anime. So, Zack Attack Review says Henry Cavill, Dwayne Johnson, or Alan Rich. Okay, I don't agree with Henry Cavill. Maybe he's kind of close, but I'm thinking of him doing the stoic reactions in Justice League when he first comes back to life, and he kind of has that stone cold face for the Terminator. Maybe Henry Cavill's actually not a bad one. Dwayne Johnson, I just don't see, even from Black Adam, where he basically was just stoic the whole time. I don't see him being a good Terminator. But Alan Richardson. That is an interesting one because he, as Reacher, kind of has that stoic, emotionalist demeanor to him and facial to him. He's also jacked as hell. he's a huge guy. If that guy is coming down to you in a dark alleyway, and if you're gonna completely remake Terminator and his dong swinging around, like that would be very intimidating. that would be very intimidating. I think Alan Richardson is probably my favorite suggestion at the moment. Actually, I think if they were going to reboot Terminator and they announced tomorrow that they were doing it and Alan Richardson was going to be the Terminator, I'd be into it. That one actually kind of gets me on board a little bit. So okay, fair point, Zach. Very, very impressive. Good job, man. That's some good fan casting there. I think that one's good. Collective Movie Man says, I would get no one, don't reboot it. I mean, look, I don't want a reboot. Personally, I don't want a reboot of Terminator, but it's going to happen one day. It's going to happen one day. They could do Divergent better, I think. They could reboot Divergent. Collective Movie Man says, Zach, you have a good night. I'm going to go watch this new Pokemon animated TV show that's on Netflix. Oh, right, man. Well, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the members, dude. Thank you for being a beloved channel member. And the show is made better because you were a part of it, dude. I appreciate you. You have a good night, my friend. Dragon Movie Guy says, Zack Attack Reviews, great trio of choices. I'm for The Rock as the Terminator. Can you imagine the people's eyebrow on a machine? Awesome. I mean, I don't think I can see it. I really don't think I can see it. It just doesn't work for me. The Laser says, you would make a great Terminator. You and your wife would make cinema. You and my wife's a Terminator too? Are we doing Terminator 3 up in here? Oh yeah, totally. You'd be so intimidated with this guy walking down the alleyway at you. John Connor. You die, John Connor. Yeah. I don't know why I'd have to talk like Arnold. I guess I wouldn't have to talk like Arnold. I guess I could just be like, John Connor. Hey John Connor, you're dead. You're dead, John Connor. I'm coming for you, John Connor. How intimidated is that? How intimidating am I as a Terminator? I think you got it, Laser. I think I'd be very scary. Jonesy737, what's going on, Jonesy? Thanks for joining us. Saying, what's up, Zach? I'm just having a great time in the chat talking with you guys. I've had a great show. A little bit of hiccups, but overall, I think it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us. It's great to see you in here. The Laser says, did you see the new Inside Out 2 clip where joy, fear, disgust, and anger are in a brainstorm, and these portions from this green tornado hits anger in the face? Also, sadness is missing here. I have not. I have not seen any clips from Inside Out 2. Not really looking for any clips either, to be honest with you. The Laser said, my biggest concern for Inside Out 2 is sadness. There was a ton of epic shots of just joy, anger, fear, and disgust without sadness. She is in the prison scene with them. Within the trailer, she's gone. I don't think she's going to die. I mean, the whole first movie was about how you need sadness. So that's interesting, though. That's an interesting observation. I'll be very curious to see the context of the movie, why that is. Trez Movie says, Venom Left to Be Carnage is one of my favorite guilty pleasures. It's hands down the best gay rom-com ever made. Fair enough. I see it as a bromance, but fair enough. It does kind of have the undertones, for sure. Personally, I've talked a little bit of crap on Venom Left to Be Carnage. I like Venom Left to Be Carnage more than the first one. Still don't love it, but I had more fun with it than the first one. Find My Film says, any Indian film you have watched? If yes, would you like to suggest to anyone? Indian film? No, I'm sorry, I can't. My foreign film catalog is very low. That's one of my blind spots as a film fan is foreign films. I need to watch more foreign films for sure. Trez Movie says, just realized that no one answered my Not Another Church movie question on whether or not anyone saw the movie. I now feel even dumber for seeing that movie. Yeah, I don't think anyone saw that movie but you, man. Good on you, dude. Zack Attack Reviews says, have a good night. Amazing stream as always. Dude, thank you so much. You're also saying reboot Twilight and do that better. I mean, you couldn't get any worse. But thank you so much, my friend, for being here, Zach. Thank you for being a beloved channel member. And the show is made better because you were a part of it, my friend, and I appreciate you, dude. You have a good night. The Laser says, also, the Inside Out 2 trailers have a lack of NU Borden for some reason. All the shots that we see of her is just her lying on the red couch with her phone, but maybe they're hiding something. Maybe. That's an interesting observation as well. You've definitely dove into this more than I have. Let's say that. Trev's Movie says, Zack Attack, you can't do Twilight better. May I remind you that a grown man fell in love with a baby? He didn't fall in love with a baby. He imprinted. All right, he's waiting for her age. He just stopped growing so he can grow along with her. It's not that weird. The Laser, I'm a scary dude. Good night, Zack Attack, or as Samuel Jackson said best, go the fudge to sleep. All right, go to fudge to sleep, Zach. Andrew Review says, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Yeah, you too. And with that, actually, that's a good last comment because we are all caught up on the comments and questions, guys. So we have gone for over 2.5 hours. Cannot thank you guys enough for being here. Thank you guys for being in the chat, for contributing to the chat, and giving us fun things to talk about all night long. But that's going to be the show, guys. That is our time. Thank you again, everyone who's joined. The Super Chatters, thank you so much for all the support. All the channel members, thank you for all the support. And, of course, anyone that was in the chat, thank you guys for all the support. Guys, I probably won't have anything coming up this weekend. As I said, I will be out of town. But Zach Milne Talks Live will be back next week. So definitely stick around for that. And I will see you guys then. Same Zach time, same Zach channel.